Hi there, Assassins, and welcome to episode 30 of Rally the Creed Live, our Valentine's Day special. Obviously, it's not Valentine's Day, we're aware of that, but this is so we can enjoy the day with our partners. And we're an Assassin's Creed community podcast focusing on the content creators within the community, news coverage, and everything else relating to Assassin's Creed. Just a reminder, guys, 84% of our listeners aren't subscribed to us yet on YouTube, so please do that. It really helps us out, and we're trying to grow the channel this year. A massive thank you to everyone who supported the show so far. We've had really great guests on the show. We've had so many interesting conversations, and we're excited to see where it can go this year. So tonight I'm joined by my co-host, James Davis, Top Chef 1288. Welcome. Good to have you on the show, mate.
Good to be back. I feel like we haven't done an episode for ages.
I feel like that as well. It's been a long time. It's been at least 2 weeks, hasn't it? So lots to go into.
It's got to have been, yeah.
Definitely been. I always write my stories down now in advance, so nothing too interesting, but I'm going to share them anyhow because this is the place to do so. And other things, guys, things we're going to get into tonight, some topics. We're going to be getting into the Assassin's Creed Shadows co-op mode, Project League, which has been cancelled by Ubisoft. We're going to be getting into our favourite couples in the Assassin's Creed universe, our favourite songs from the official soundtracks, how our love for Assassin's Creed began, why we love the series, and what can Ubisoft do to bring the fans back. But before we get into that, what have you been up to, James?
I've had a very busy week last week at work, a very busy week this week. We went to Oxford at the weekend, which was really nice. Went to a few museums. It's quite nice.
Oxford's nice.
Ended up in Oxford Hospital, so that wasn't too great.
No, that's not good.
So Sunday, Nicola went out for brunch on Sunday in Oxford. So I thought I'll take the kids into Oxford. All normal. Got to Oxford, my eldest started complaining of some stomach cramps. We thought that it was like her period and stuff.
Yeah.
Gave her medication. Pain was okay, all good. Walked round the museum. All of a sudden, she's like literally curled up in pain, screaming, crying, tears rolling down her face.
That's awful.
So I'm like trying to walk her through. We come out of the museum, try to walk her through Oxford. People are looking at me going, what's going on? Like just giving me dirty looks and stuff. I'm like, oh my God. Managed to get Nicola, I had to invade Nicola's brunch. And Nicola came over, felt her stomach. We thought potentially it could be appendicitis for a minute. Got to the hospital. By the time we got to the hospital, her medication again had kicked in, so she wasn't in as much pain. Mm-hmm. We spent 3 hours in Oxford Hospital just for them to give her some antibiotics and send us on our way.
That's crazy.
I was like, oh my God, we've just literally sat here for ages.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh my God, this is just... So yeah, I had a great weekend up until that point.
So that's horrible. What do you think? Are we talking about an inflamed appendix, did you say? Or
that's what we thought, because she was where she was complaining of the pain. Mm-hmm. But they just think it was a UTI, so antibiotics and just send her on her way.
That's
great.
Really,
thanks. Cheers.
It's almost like you've been fobbed off a bit there. Should they not have investigated? Obviously, I'm not a doctor, but should they not have investigated this a bit more? It could have been kidney stones or...
Well, they did... They checked her urine and stuff.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm not a doctor either, but I'm assuming that some
maybe.
stuff... I got medical personnel looking at me right now, so...
Well, anyhow, glad she's okay. That's sort of ruined your trip in a way.
Yeah.
Glad she's okay, though.
We had a good point leading up to that.
Yeah.
Had some... So the museum we went to, there was a lot of Egyptian stuff, and it was really good. We got to look at that, and they had a very tiny Japanese section, so we got to have a look at that as well. So it was really good. It was good fun. We've been to that museum a few times, so it was really nice to get to and stuff. So yeah, I've had that. Had a new video release out on YouTube as well.
Yes, mate, we need to talk about that. The chef one.
we can talk about that if you like.
Definitely. I watched it last night.
You watched it on the big screen, didn't you?
I did, of course. I always watch your videos on the big screen. It's got to be done. First of all, brilliant script, by the way. I think
Oh,
it's
thank
really
you.
clever. So to give you guys an idea, we'll leave a link in the description below. The chef's new video. Who's Jeff? The chef's new
Who
video
Jeff is
all about like Assassin's Creed being like a melting pot and all the ingredients coming in. And yeah, it was so smart the way you'd written it.
Yeah, so I tried to work out why we were all so fatigued with the franchise. And I get it, and it's something we've talked about before, is that yearly releases, not great stories, all these things are the reason that we feel so fatigued with it. But why? And I wanted to get to the roots of it. And the only way I could think about explaining it is through a cooking sort of metaphor. And it worked. I think it worked really well. I really enjoyed it, and it was really good.
It was smart.
And you said there was quite a lot of good quotes and stuff from it.
There really was. I need to comb through it and just get some of the quotes because I was like, "That's really clever. That's great." I can't. Have you got the script handy? I don't know if you have.
Not to hand.
No, it was a beauty. I was watching it. I was like, "That's so smart." I wish I could think of some. I wish I'd written some down actually. But yeah, man, it was really cool. So definitely check that out, guys. And also, thumbnail was peak.
Oh, mate, I worked so hard on that thumbnail. It was brilliant. I even had. I don't know if you saw, but Higgs commented on my X post saying, "Love the thumbnail."
That's cool.
So it was brilliant.
We'll bring it up for you guys in the post edit of the show. But yeah, it was really smart, James. So great job with that. And what's the overall response been to it?
Seems okay. I'm not getting many comments on the video on YouTube, but I took a couple of shorts and put them on TikTok and stuff, and they're doing fairly well.
We can get some of the shorts in here to give people
definitely
for it. We'll drop one here. Anyway, I'll get it in the post edit.
My final story is because it is our Valentine's Day special. I get to open my Valentine's Day present early.
Right. Not from me.
Not from you.
It's not like Secret Santa again.
just my secret Valentine. But I wanted to open this because I have a feeling I know what it is, but I wanted to share it with everybody. So
I'm excited today. We love an unboxing on stream. Oh, that is so
they're
nice.
absolutely stunning.
That's amazing. That is such a heavy book as well, right?
Yeah. So this is the deluxe edition. So it features a decorative slip case, exclusive cover treatment, and a folio. Let's see if we can have a look in here.
This is the Art of Assassin's Creed Mirage. And you know what? I always see it in like Waterstones, and it's such a heavy book. It's expensive as well, man. It looks great.
I hope that's not how much you just paid for it. No. Right, okay, cool. Anyway, wow. I also want to point out that Mirage's logo is absolutely fantastic.
That looks phenomenal.
It's so good.
Like everything looks red to me right now, but is it gold? Like black and gold?
It's like a rose gold bronze type, yeah.
Yeah, that is nice. That looks really like premium, doesn't it?
It's
like
clean. It's gonna go on a shelf up here.
Oh, 100%. That looks nice. Very jealous. She knows you well, mate.
Oh wow. So we've got this.
Nice. Oh, is this like lithographs? Like
I think this is prints? I think that's a single picture in there, but
nice. Yeah, it's Bassin with the eagle.
Yeah, that is absolutely stunning.
Great comment from Podge, by the way. Does include grains of sand from the golden age of Baghdad. It's nice.
This is just, I cannot wait to get into this and have a look.
Yeah, I love the art style for Mirage, the calligraphy,
Look at
even like the
this.
insignia, the
This is
artwork, the way it draws
fantastic.
back to the roots. Like, it sort of acts like a bridge between the hidden ones and the assassins, in AC1. So you're going to see some really cool, like early stage artwork in there. I'm sure that'll be great. So what a cool present.
I'm definitely going to be. We'll be looking at that and making some videos for that for sure. That is
That'll be great.
absolutely stunning. Thank you.
That's love right there.
You're very, very welcome.
That is very love right there.
That is so cool.
So that's my week. Tell me about yours.
Well, it's been 2 weeks since we last spoke, and quite a lot's happened in that time. Mainly, I've just been working every day, so that's boring. But the actual, like, interesting things have happened around that. So the main thing is we've been doing house stuff again. Baby's now due in 4 weeks' time, so it's very close. I've only got a few episodes left until then. And a couple of days ago, Ash and I went to the tip to take away some rubbish, and there was a glass mirror inside a black bag, and also in the black bag was one of these mini like dolls where you can get someone's face on them. Have you seen these? Are you familiar with these?
No, I don't think so. But
So they're a bit like voodoo dolls, but like a 2026 version. So
Okay.
they're quite big and they're like pillows, really, but you can put anyone's face on it. So this has got Ash's mum on it, so my mother-in-law, and we've had it for a good few years. We used to take it on trips with us, like the zoo, and we're like, look, we're out with you. Like stupid stuff like that, right? Anyhow, got mouldy in the shed, sadly, so we've had to bin the mother-in-law's doll. So off to the tip we went, and it was the last black bag going in general waste, and I was walking across the tip, and the glass mirror shattered inside the bag somehow.
no.
It was very fragile. It shattered in the bag and caused like the entire bag to rupture from the inside. So there's these workmen, like 4 of them, all just stood outside general waste, and they just watched me walking with the last black bag. Splits everywhere, goes all over the floor, and out with it comes like paper, newspaper clippings, like just all sorts of random stuff I'm trying to get rid of, and shards of glass everywhere. And then all I see is the face of my mother-in-law come out of this black bag and look at me. And it looked like a Great Escape moment from Toy Story, where they're trying to get out the window. It was just a madness going on there. So then I had to, on hands and knees, pick up the shards of glass, put them all in the black bag, and then throw it away. The workmen were laughing at me, pointing. Ash was in the car looking at me. This is like 10 a.m. in the morning, so I really didn't need this. And no help at all. But I've told this story to 1 or 2 colleagues, and they're like, oh, at our tip in Wales, they would have got the dustpan and brush, they would have come and helped you out, they would have been great. These lads just laughed at me. So
I think at our tip they would have helped as well.
I had no help at all. And these men, like, it range in age. So I'd have thought one of the older lads would have helped me out. No, they're just laughing at me. So nice one, boys. Nice one. Thanks for the help on that one. So that wasn't the best start to the week. And then another story I wrote down as well, and I don't know if my wife's still in the chat because she's not going to like this one, but we were driving back from Warrington, which is sort of near Manchester. We'd done some Morehouse stuff, and on the way back, it's on the motorway going into Wales, I spotted a truck carrying hay bales, and of course, being an Assassin's Creed fan, I'm pointing at him. It's just me and her in the car. I'm like, oh, look, the assassins are moving their hay bales to the destinations, stuff like this. And she starts getting annoyed, and we'll drop the pictures in the post edit so you guys can see. There's a picture here of her face in the mirror, but she's going, why are you getting excited? It's probably just a farmer moving the hay. Like, it's just hay. It's just hay. And I'm like, oh, it's Ezio moving it to underneath a sink point, like all this, right? She's not happy about it. She was like, just shut up, just shut up. She's caught in here in the chat. She is still here. He was so excited about these hay bales, like ridiculously excited. That's the Assassin's Creed fan of me. Yeah, guys, you should be able to see the pictures in the post edit, but the face says it all. She was not entertaining this for a second.
that. So I'm looking at the picture right now. She is not happy, and if she knew that picture was up there as well, I don't think she'd be very happy either.
Oh, it's going in. She's put, it was literally 3 bales in the back of a truck. Well, and I want to know, you guys as Assassin's Creed fans, do you get excited seeing hay bales being moved? Do you think, oh, the assassins are moving them, or is it just me? Like James, what do you think?
Oh, well, we don't see many hay bales on the move, but
It's quite rare, right? I don't see them every
yeah,
day.
I don't see them very often. But I probably would if I saw them.
Yeah, and the other thought that was going through my mind was, oh, it could be like the Templars moving them, so when the assassins jump, they'll die. Do you know what I mean? Like tactical strategy. Oh, Podge says I see hay bales every day. Do you get excited, Podge, or just me? Ash says
Nicholas,
he was more. Oh, this is a bit harsh, Ash. He was more excited seeing those bales than our son at soft play.
yeah, but I'm just gonna throw this out there. Soft play is tedious, if I dare to say so myself.
And he was excited for soft play. And I went down that slide about 20 times. So I've done my bit there. So great story for you there, Ash. You're going to love the post edit of this episode, especially when that image goes live. I'll be sleeping in the shed.
The fact that this is potentially the first time that anyone in the community is going to see Ash, and it's the face of a very angry pregnant woman.
Yeah.
Because I can just imagine your hand reaching in front of her. Because I would have done that. I would have been like, "Oh look, hay bales," and I would have pointed in front of her as well. And Nicola would have been like, "Move your fucking hand."
Yeah, distracting the driver. 100%. And got another story for you, James, and this one ties in nicely to your recent video, obviously with the chef theme coming back, and you guys can see this image on screen now. It's been a point of conversation in our car quite a lot recently. So as you're going through the area where I live, there's a kebab shop, and there's like an inflatable man. And at Christmas, it was Santa Claus, so Father Christmas, with a pizza in his hand. It's now reverted back to the inflatable chef, and he waves as you walk past. So you're getting this, and my little 3-year-old's waving back at the chef, and it's all so nice. And obviously, I've got my new office here, so every time my little boy comes in here, he'll ask me what was a present, because a few things he's pointed at, and I'll be like, yeah, that was a present, that one. I've got quite a lot. I'm quite lucky. I've got things gifted by companies. I've got things from James and the Secret Santa.
Yeah.
So quite a lot of things in my office are actually like gifted. Hashtag gifted. So the main thing he likes is the Ezio Auditore lamp that he got me, James, the iconic lamp. Red tonight for Valentine's Day. So yeah, he was asking me where I got it from, and I was like, oh, that's from Daddy's friend, the chef. And now, every time we go past this inflatable chef, he is convinced that this inflatable chef is my friend who's been sending me gifts.
If anyone wants to see what I apparently, because I'm an inflatable chef now, this is the inflatable chef.
We'll get a bigger picture in the post edit for you guys.
This is what I look like.
And he waves every day. That's our chef. That's Top Chef.
Podge, I do actually have a video that needs to be posted about that very question. So keep an eye out.
Very good. I like that. And I have got a video as well of my little boy asking the chef-related questions, and we'll drop it here for you now. So we'll throw that in as well in post-edit. And also, whilst we're on the topic of my little boy coming into my new office, and I'm inviting him into my 1 metre by 0.5 metre space, so it's quite crowded in here. You know, he sits on my knee quite well. And since yesterday, he's become a little bit obsessed with Assassin's Creed Origins. So I'm starting him early. He's 3 years old. And the way this came about is he's always loved going to zoos and animals. So I thought, you know what, we'll see some animals up close without having to leave the house. So what we do now is I get on a camel in Assassin's Creed Origins. We've made him a new profile. So we're still in Siwa. And we travel around on the camel, and we get close to dangerous animals like lions or jaguars, and there's a few others as well. There isn't any hippos or crocodiles in that realm of the map. So to start off with, we're looking for lady lions, and he puts on his little Simba hat, who's the boy lion. So we're looking for lady lions, and it's very rare to see a male lion in this area of the map on Assassin's Creed Origins. And what we do is we just go up to the animals on the camel. We then hit photo mode, and we just sort of go around the animal. So it's normally like a lion or a crocodile, and it'll just boop the animal on the nose. So to the lion, it'll just go boop on the screen in photo mode, and then I'll go out of photo mode. The crocodile or whatever it is, the lion, will get aggressive and then we'll run away. And he's convinced that the animals like us but don't like the camel. So he thinks that like the person, Bayek, is him, and they really like him,
Yeah.
but they don't like the camel.
But they don't
So
like the camel.
yeah, so it's great. I've got a way in with him to Assassin's Creed, and he's only 3 years old, so this is great. And every day he's coming down. He's like, "Daddy, can I go in your office to see the Lady Lions?" So it's like, "Yes, we can play Assassin's Creed Origins." And I was brave enough before. I booted up my nightmare mode difficulty save.
Yeah.
And my only worry is I don't want him to see me like hurting any sort of like I
Yeah.
don't know, warriors or the animals attack and I have to defend myself or anything. But before we went on and we were fighting one of the warrior elephants, you know, one of the boss missions.
Yeah.
And because it's so quick with the arrows, he wasn't really paying attention to that. He was sort of on his phone. He's got a little phone. He was watching that as well. So a huge elephant was coming at us. And I was like, oh, Daddy's fighting the angry elephant. And then we've also found hippos as well. And when they open their jaws, when they're angry, I go on photo mode and I'm like, look at the jaws, look at the teeth. Isn't that great? So yeah, it's become like an educational tool in my house.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
It's a new way to use photo mode. Maybe I've discovered something there.
Yeah, funny you should say that, because when we're out and about and we're looking for stuff, we were in London, we found Assassin's Creed stuff. We were in Birmingham, we found Assassin's Creed stuff. The kids now go, "Oh, Daddy, that's from the game that you play."
Cool.
So yeah, and then when we're in the office, sometimes the girls will come in, the younger two, and be like, "Oh, Daddy, your game's so good. Oh, this."
Oh, fab.
So who knows? Maybe we've got some more future assassins on the way.
Hope so. I do hope so. That's cool that the seed's now planted. You know, Assassin's Creed can be like an educational tool for our kids from a young age, and that's cool. So I don't know how to tie into my next story because it's so unrelated to everything else I've said. And my wife tried to censor me, and she was like, "Don't tell that stupid story on the podcast." But you know what? You can't censor me. I'm going to tell it anyhow. So it was 9:10 in the morning yesterday. I don't know how to feel about this story, and you guys can let me know how you feel about it. I was off to get some milk for my breakfast cereal. You know, I just dropped my little boy off at nursery, and I'm on my way to the shop, you know, minding my own business. I get to the shop, and there's two really like scruffy looking fellas getting out of the shop. So two men, they're looking a bit unkept and untidy. So my first assumption is that they're most likely homeless. The way they came out, like ripped clothes and everything, and they've both got like a double beer in their hands, you know, like the big bottles of like Heineken. Yeah. So they've got these in their hands. And I was like, right, they're probably saving that for later. And yeah, they take about a meter walk out the shop. And one of them goes, "I've got a bottle opener at mine." So I realised, oh, they're obviously not homeless. They've got a place to stay. So that's good at least. But one of them then gets his bottle, smashes it against the wall, and then just starts like dripping everywhere in this beer all over him. I just stopped still and like look at him because it was like it was gonna go on my shoes. So I just sort of like went round him, right? Like detoured to the right a bit, and he's like chugging this at 9:10 in the morning. And then I'm like, right, okay, none of my business. Okay, do what you're gonna do. I go in the shop, get my milk for my breakfast, get out, and they're both at the bus stop just drinking these massive, like 2-pint bottles of alcohol at 9:10. I was like, wow, what a life they've got. Like I had work that day. I was like, wow, I've got a whole day ahead of me. What a life. I was just like stunned. Like, wow, like. But then I guess if you go in like Weatherspoons or an airport, like there's always someone drinking. And to be fair, if it's the airport, it's me. But you know, it just blew me away. Like I was completely shocked to see it at like this time of morning. But you guys in the comments, you might see this regularly. You have to let me know if is this a normal thing where you live or is it just me?
So when we went to London for Bonnie's birthday, we got on the train at like quarter past 7. Literally, the train pulled out of Leamington Station and literally there was there was like an older couple next to us, literally cracked open like cans of it was a can of like Crimes 19
Oh yeah.
or 19 Crimes wine, and just
Wow.
started drinking it at like 7:15. I was like, what the hell?
This is the UK, and I wonder if other people
It's
listening from
insane.
other countries will be like so confused by this. But I've got to say, I am guilty of that one. If I'm traveling somewhere far, like I do like a nice beer just to calm me down. Because like traveling long distance as well, like even going abroad, like going to the airport, like I'm known for it. But yeah, this for all we know, these guys are on the way to work. Like we don't know.
Yeah, that's.
Wild.
I would also like to address the back and forth between Ash and Nicola right now.
I was going on the chat. Have I
Yeah,
missed a few comments?
I'd just like to address this. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, I do save some stories for the podcast, and yes, I do say, "Oh, I'm gonna talk about this on the podcast." Okay,
Yeah.
right?
That's what we do, isn't it? I mean,
We both do this,
literally
okay?
we voice note throughout the
Just
week, but
agreed that you both do this.
yeah,
Yeah, but I
guilty
feel
of it.
like I'm being a little bit like,
It wasn't a tacky.
Oh, I see how it is.
yes, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, the people want to know. I mean, Ash, when we first introduced this section, heavily inspired by our friends at the Podyssey. They've got really interesting lives. But you know what? We've done 30 episodes at this point. People want to know what we've been up to. People know us personally, on a social media sort of way. And public figures in the Assassin's Creed community, people are interested in what we're up to. Why not save a few stories for the podcast? You can't censor us.
We will not be censored.
We will not be silenced.
I'm getting the slight we're the assassins, and they might be Templars trying to silence us. Is this how this is going? Okay, cool.
I'm glad actually. We're mentioning our partners in the chat because James, I wanted to get into our engagement stories.
Okay.
I mean, this hasn't gone well for me because earlier in the evening I asked my wife, "What year did we get engaged?"
Oh,
so we're not.
Oh, is that? Oh, okay, right.
We're not off to a good start, and I was right. I did say I thought it was 2019. I was right. So that's good. That's good. But, yeah, she won't be happy. She wasn't happy that I had to ask though. So James, tell me your engagement story. You might have told us on the show already, actually, but let's have a recap for Valentine's Day.
I think I did. I was literally dying.
The flu?
That's what I'm going to lead into. I was literally dying. Basically, I thought I want to ask Nicola to marry me. I need to. And we were coming back from Scotland. I think we took the kids for the first time. We were coming back from Scotland, and Nicola loves the TV show The Last Kingdom.
Yeah, it's great.
So on our way back from Scotland, I text Nicola's parents and was like, "Oh, I'm not going to be able to see you without Nicola around. I wanted to know if I could get your permission to ask her to marry me." Instantly got a message back saying, "Yes, please take her."
Sure.
Great.
And I was like, right. So I planned it. I booked a really nice hotel. It was a really, really bougie place. We went over to Northumbria. We went to go to Bamborough Castle.
Yeah, the big castle.
Yeah, so we were going to Bamborough Castle.
I've been there.
And I just started where I work now. It was my first week. It was my second day. And I woke up so we were going on the Wednesday and this was on the Tuesday. I woke up ready for work. I puked everywhere. Felt a bit rubbish. Text work said I couldn't come into work. They were fine. And because I'd already paid a deposit for the hotel and to Bamborough Castle, I'd already paid for all of it. I was like, we need to go away. Like we're going away. We have to go. And Nicola's like, no, you're not very well. I was like, we have to go. On the way to the hotel, I'm literally asleep in the car the entire time. I'm literally shaking. I'm in so much pain. I'm in agony. The next day, go to Bamburgh Castle, walking around Bamburgh Castle. I could hardly breathe. I could hardly walk. Walking around, as we got out the car, pulled my coat out from the back of the car, and the ring was in the inside pocket of my coat. Flung my coat out, and the ring fell out of my
Are you joking?
onto the floor. And Nicola looked and then looked away. I picked the ring back, the ring box back up, put it in my back of my. So she kind of knew something was coming.
Oh no!
Walking around the entire castle, and there was a particular point where we were stood, and I was like, I just want to I waited till nobody was around. I was like, I need to say something to you. And she's like, okay. And I'm like, I pulled the ring box out, and I opened the ring box, and it was a Haribo ring, because the ring I had, which was my mom's engagement ring, was being resized, but the jewelry shop wasn't open when we went to pick it up before we went. So I then didn't have a ring. I'm literally stood in this courtyard bit of this castle going, I was really struggling to breathe. It was very windy. I was like, Will, and she's like, you have to finish. I was like, Will you marry me? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, I need to go sit down. And I went and sat down. I sat down, and Nicola's on the phone to her parents. Doing congratulations. We got back to the hotel that night, and I was like, I don't like going to hospitals. I don't. If I can avoid it, I will do
the same.
And I was literally lay in bed. I'd had a sleep. I woke up and I was like, I need to go to hospital. I'm really struggling. Ended up going to hospital. They thought I'd gone septic. I was in hospital. I was like curled up in a blanket. I was like, I'm cold. And everyone's like, no, James, you're like 40 degrees. It's like, well, everyone stop telling me I'm bloody warm. I'm freaking cold. And Nicola's like, don't you speak to the nurses like that. I was like, I'm cold. I'm literally dying, shivering. I couldn't breathe. There was so much pain in my chest. But I managed to get out, will you marry me? And she said yes. And we have a great story now.
That's incredible, mate. First of all, congratulations. Well done for getting the words out. You're a trooper.
The fact that she forced me to get the words out.
Yeah. Wow, mate, that's incredible. Imagine if you'd said, will you, and then just died. You've done well. You've done well.
That's brilliant.
You did well. You pushed through, and you got the words out, and you survived. You beat death.
Yeah. I'd had this big thing. I was like, I'd even weeks leading up to it, because I knew about it months in advance. And I'd even spoke to the people at the castle. Is there a place I could ask her? Is there something I can do? And they were very accommodating on, this is where you could do it. But I was feeling so bad. I couldn't even walk around the hospital. I was walking like an old man. I was dragging my leg. I was it was really bad.
That's horrible. But what exactly was wrong, James? It sounds like pneumonia or something.
I literally had the flu. So Elsie, my daughter, who's got epilepsy, she was in hospital at the same time as me. And she had flu A or flu B or whatever it is.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Flu A, and I had flu A as well. I was literally my chest, I couldn't breathe, I couldn't move, everything hurt. It almost felt like I had COVID. Again. That's how much my entire body was aching. I couldn't and we stayed at the hotel for one night. And the 2 nights it was supposed to be like something like £600, but they were like, you still have, unfortunately, you still have to pay for the
Wow.
2 nights, even though you're not staying here.
That's rough. Half price would have been better.
Yeah, but
That's rough.
we went for dinner the night before we went to the castle, and the food was amazing, but I was literally every 30 seconds, it was like, I need to get up and I need to go, I need to cough, so I had to go over, get up, walk away, go into the toilet, cough, then
That's horrible.
then come back, and it was like I was a decrepit old man just dragging my foot, like I had Nicola hooked armed, just walking me like I was an old man. Just come on, Grandad.
This sounds like real flu. I didn't mean to laugh, by the way, because when you said it, I was like, man flu, like, you know, like super dramatic. Like when I've got a cold, and I think I dragged out, like, I think it was the last episode we did together with Danny.
Yeah,
I spent like 10 minutes telling everyone about my cold and flu symptoms.
But I literally, it's the worst I have ever felt in my entire life.
That's horrible.
Like,
it was
so bad.
You actually managed to pull off an engagement in that state, so props to you.
I was like, we have to go. I don't care if I'm literally dying.
Yeah,
we have to go because I've been planning this. This is not something I can just not do. This has been planned and sorted, so we have to go.
Also, I like the element of the Haribo ring as well. I think that's really cute, you know, as like a backup, considering you couldn't get the actual ring.
Yeah,
they stretch as well, don't they? So it doesn't matter about size. You can get it to whatever size you like.
So we always, if we have packs of Haribo, we always give each other
we do this
a ring, and it's the last sweet that we'll both eat.
And we do love hearts.
Yeah, so we'll eat all the sweets, but the ring is the last one that we'll both eat.
And when I'm saying we, guys, I don't mean me and James, but I am talking about me and my wife.
And the actual ring is currently downstairs in some
the Haribo, yeah.
In resin. Like, we're going to get it resin, so
that was my next question. Did you eat the ring? Did you split it?
No. Nobody's allowed to. That's
sacred
ring.
Resin's clever because obviously sweets, someone will eat it eventually. A cat, a dog, a person. I would if I was hungry.
So you have to dry it out.
Yeah, it's in silica gel.
So it's in silica gel to dry out, and then you can eat it.
Really
not
cool.
eat it, but then you can put it in resin.
Yeah, that's really cool. That's a lovely engagement story, by the way. So well done on accomplishing that in your state. So I am proud of you.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, that's great. So I suppose I should probably tell my engagement story then.
Yeah, go for it.
If anyone cares. So this, not anyone's asking, this came together in 2019, as my wife has reminded me earlier in the evening. So the way this came about, obviously I asked permission from her dad. Her parents are split, so it was really difficult to get him down to ask because he lived in Manchester, which is like 45 minutes away, but he was quite distant. So I only ever saw him like once every 3 months or so.
Yeah.
And it just so happened that before our holiday in Rome, where I was going to ask the question, he was across and we went to Pizza Express. And the whole evening I was like, I need to ask him this question. I was getting nervous about it. I was like, how do I word this? And her dad was a big man, like a huge man. He was he was like a bouncer for like nightclubs. So he's built, and he was a scary bloke. So he was in the restaurant, and eventually Ash went to the toilet, and I was left with her dad and partner, and I just asked him, I'm going on this holiday, would it be okay with you if I proposed to Ash? And he was like, oh yeah, mate, I'm absolutely thrilled for you, brilliant, yeah. And he was like dead sound about it, like shaking my hand and everything. I was like, oh, fantastic. He was like, thanks for asking, I really appreciate it. Because I had been like building this up for weeks. Like, oh my God, like I'm shaking, I'm freaking out about asking him,
Yeah.
But he was absolutely dead sound about it. And then we went on the holiday, and Rome, it was my first time there. What an incredible place, by the way. We'll get into Rome quite a lot on this episode. So this is actually a good way to start things off, really, for where we're going in the show tonight. So we get to Rome, and I had a few ideas of where I would like to propose. And I had also asked her mum as well, because she was sort of raised by her mum and granddad. And at this point, everyone knew apart from Ash. And I feel like I did a really good job in keeping it a secret. Like, we'd been to ring stores, she'd been hinting, but we'd gone to one ring store a few weeks before, and I'd said to her, oh, I'm just going to have a look at what they've got. And she picked a few rings she liked. She told me her size, and I saw a ring that she loved. And I went in, spoke to the guy for 10 minutes, put a deposit down, took that ring away, and I had to pay it in like stages, which I thought was like the smart thing to do. I've just left university as a student, so I was like, this is the smart move to do, pay it in installments, right? So the way I played it was I came out and I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to get in touch with these guys and see if there's any modifications we can do to get this ring down to like a more reasonable price. And maybe over the next few years, obviously I'm not in the best place financially right now. We can come back to it in like a year or two. And I played it like that, but I had the ring in my pocket.
Did she genuinely not know?
She had no idea, really. Like, we'd been talking about it, that it was in our future and stuff. But I sort of just came out, I had to lie to her, and I was like, yeah, we're going to email back and forth about possibilities for that sort of style of ring for, like, if I wanted to propose in the next sort of year or two. It's not on the cards right now, Ash, don't get your hopes up. Yeah. I was playing it real cool. Like, she had no idea. And after that, we were still looking at rings in windows and things. And I was like, yeah, I just want to focus on, like, paying off a few credit cards and things first. But really, like, I'd secured it. I had it in my pocket. I hid it. That's how I did it. So we go to Rome. Yeah, this is how I played it, and she fell for it completely, and I felt really bad lying to her all the time, but that's how we had to do it. I got it through customs. This was another fear of mine. I put it in my socks, so the ring box was in the socks. It got x-rayed, obviously. No one said a thing. So the day of the proposal, I was wearing this T-shirt, my Lucky Lyle Scott T-shirt, and it ties in well with the episode.
There you go.
Still fits, which is nice. 7 years ago now. So yeah, we're walking down through Rome, and we get to the Trevi Fountain, and it's so busy. And I was like, this is like the cliche place to propose. This is the love fountain. People always throw the things over, the coins over their shoulders into the water. I think it's 3 times and you'll fall in love. So something like that. And they've got the tradition there, but it's so busy. And when I got there, I just realized this isn't the place. So we carried on, and I was like, right, I'm going to propose at the Colosseum. And I realized it's probably going to be really busy, but what a cool place to propose.
Yeah, definitely.
There was a problem though. When we got down the stretch past the Forum to the Colosseum. I'm not sure. Have you ever been to Rome, James?
I've never left the country.
Wow, we'll get into that later, because that's a crime. That's very strange. We'll get into that as well. So I'm walking past the Roman Forum. See the Colosseum, eyes on, the first time I've ever seen it. It's under construction. It's all under construction. So there's cranes, it's noisy, there's a terminal over the road from it of like a subway station, so people are coming up and out, like in London. It's so busy around there. There's a road that goes all the way around the Colosseum, and I was like, it's like a roundabout. Yeah, for sure. And I was like, I was not expecting this. I was expecting a piece of history, but when I got there, it was so busy. But that wasn't the problem. It was the fact that I thought, if I do this here, there's all these cranes on this side, there's construction. It doesn't even look like the Colosseum. It's like, when Big Ben was under construction for like 2 years and all the tourists couldn't get pictures with it. I imagine this is how they felt. So I was so disappointed. So what I did was I walked with her all the way around the side, and it was so hot as well. I was in shorts and T-shirt. So I get around the other side of the Colosseum. So we've gone all the way around it. It's huge. and I finally get to a piece of it, which is like the side that's like the most damaged.
Yeah.
But there's a piece of it where they've like reconstructed it. So, sorry guys, I get all the way around and I decide I'm going to do it. So what we did was we were taking photos. I asked a couple if they wouldn't mind taking photos of us together, a couple shots.
Yeah.
So that's what I did. Get round the side, and I was like, right, I'm just going to go ask them if they can take a few more of you stood on your own. I go back to them. I was like, then they were Polish and they didn't understand much English. I was like, just a few more pictures, please. And they didn't really understand. So I was just like snap, snap, thumbs up, like thank you, cheers, guys. Like the classic hand gestures.
Yeah.
I get the ring out of my socks, which are in my bag because that's where they're hidden. I'm fumbling around. I'm getting stressed. I'm hot and bothered. She stood looking at the Colosseum, and I'm like, yeah, right, Ash, I'm ready. And I'm getting like pictures of her with the Colosseum. I go up to her, get down on one knee, and she turns around thinking, what is he doing taking so long? And I'm just there with the ring. And she was so shocked and she couldn't believe it. And the guys I got to photograph, like take the photographs and be the photographer, they sprung to life. They were doing like 360 round the world shots.
Oh, nice.
I've got about 20 photographs with the Colosseum in the background. They've got like every moment of the proposal captured as photos.
That's brilliant.
I wish I'd paid them. I was just so caught up in the moment.
Yeah.
They were so great, and I was so thankful to have like pictures of this moment. And we'll drop them here now. We'll get them on the post edit. But yeah, it was not obviously said yes, so that was nice.
We don't have any pictures of us doing it because one, I couldn't crouch down on my knee at all.
Oh.
I couldn't even stand. So we don't have any pictures, but we do have a really good memory of going to the castle and stuff, and we'll definitely go again because
definitely. It's your special place now, isn't it, Bamburgh Castle? It's also Uhtred's special place.
Yeah, exactly.
Uhtred of Bebbanburg. I love The Last Kingdom, by the way, so that's great that Nicky's got that connection to that franchise. It's really cool. And I guess the only bit worthwhile me telling after my proposal is we sat on a wall and we were ringing all the family members saying, oh, she said yes. Because I did have a backup plan if she'd said no. I had my passport with me in case she said no. I was like, right, that's the end of everything, isn't it, really? If we want different things in life.
I'll see you later, yeah.
Yeah, see you later. I got my passport. And people as like baiting me in work. They'd be like, oh, what you can do? She says no. What are you actually going to do? She says no. And that was like a 1% worry, but obviously didn't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
We're sat on the wall, and in Rome, there's like geckos that just roam the streets. It's really cool, like these green little lizardy things. And there was like one like roaming past the wall. So it's like, wow, this is really cool. Like you wouldn't see this in the UK.
Oh, that's brilliant.
And then we went for pizza, went out for some drinks, and it was really cool. We just had a really great day, to be honest. Just a nice day in the sun. Went back to a hotel. It was so hot. I remember we just got back to the hotel, like just like so hot, and we just put the aircon on and just had drinks. And it was just good fun, It's just a nice day. So yeah, glad she said yes, and thrilled because obviously he wouldn't be here today in the same sort of situation. I'm married now with one child, another one coming in 4 weeks. So yeah, that's
a great story.
Yeah, it's good, and obviously the connection to Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, my favorite game in the series, and yeah, that's how that happened, and still in love. That's good.
After that picture of her in the car comes up, I'm not sure how much in love she's going to be, but yeah.
Oh, she's dropped back into the chat. Ash, you've just missed our engagement story. Welcome back to the chat. So I wanted to get into our plans for Valentine's Day. So it's 4 days away. It might have even happened by the time you guys have listened to this, most likely. So I was wondering, James, what are you and Nikki doing for Valentine's Day?
We've actually got the kids.
Okay.
I don't think we're doing anything spectacular. We might end up going to Warwick Castle because they've got archery. They've got like an archery event on during February, so we might go see that. I'm not too sure yet.
That's cool. That'd be
But
good. That'd be really
nothing
good.
crazy. What about you
White
guys?
Castle's going to be your special place as well. Nothing on Valentine's Day itself, the 14th, because that is the day of Ash's baby shower. So she's doing a thing where, yeah, I imagine you guys know what a baby shower is, but there's going to be lots of gifts. She's going to be having a very nice time, and I'm looking after my little boy. So who knows? We might do something together, go out and have a fun day. But
Yeah,
yeah,
that'd be nice.
I'm on my own that day.
Go out,
Maybe
go
we'll
out
get a
and have
takeaway on the night.
Should go out for a boys' meal. That's what you should do. A boys'
Yeah,
lunch.
yeah, yeah.
That's what you should do.
Little mate date.
Yeah,
Me and the boy. Yeah, that'll be good. Lads, that'll be good.
lads on
Make
tour.
her jealous.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, make her jealous. Make her really jealous. We'll go somewhere she likes to eat.
Oh yeah, and then send her a picture. That'd be great.
Yeah, we'll do that. That'll be good. I'll take him to somewhere fancy, like where I live in Chester. There's a really nice fancy restaurant called Hickory's. Maybe we'll go and get some waffles or something. I'll make her real jealous. So that's a. She's put a hashtag rude. Yeah, that's how my Valentine's Day is going. But no, in all seriousness, we have next Tuesday, which is it's actually Pancake Day as it happens. We have a meal. I think it's an afternoon tea booked at a very fancy castle called Peckforton Castle in East Cheshire. So it's sort of over near where all the footballers live in that golden triangle of Cheshire. It's about 40 minutes from where I live. And it's not even far from where the Scouse Assassin lives, you know, he was on last week. It's only about 50 minutes from his as well. It's sort of in that like middle ground. So we're going to go over there. And the funny thing is about this, it was actually a gift given to us last year from someone else. I think it was my mother-in-law who bought it. And it's a voucher. So it's not going to cost us anything but fuel to get there. So it's actually like a free meal, but it expires in April. So it needs used. And as it happens, we've managed to secure childcare. So it lines up perfectly for our Valentine's Day. So yeah, afternoon tea. I'm going to be having the scones, cups of tea, coffee, maybe some prosecco. Yeah, it's going to be good fun. And then after that, we've got the dentist for my little boy. So,
lovely.
Well, quite the mix.
He's going to love you guys.
Yeah, at least we're doing something, you know. Yeah. She's 4 weeks away from giving birth, so we get to celebrate somehow. She's uncomfortable. She's ready to meet little ones, so at least we're doing something to celebrate, you know. And I know a lot of people, when they get 8-9 years into a relationship, they stop doing Valentine's Day. But you know, I've got her a card, so it's going well, and we'll have the afternoon tea, and you know, I might get her a little present to go with it as well.
Surprise her with a hay bale.
Yeah, she puts, I just want to eat cake again. Yeah, this
you
is
not
the
eat cake.
She has been diagnosed with gestational diabetes, which is the version you get when you're pregnant, but it lifts as soon as you give birth, which is wild. I'd never heard of this before.
Just staring at me.
Fuck. I'm looking at you.
I'm
looking at you for confirmation that this is the thing. Right, okay.
I didn't make this up. Just eat all the cakes in the house.
Yeah. Ash, I'm saving you. You can't eat the cakes. I'm going to eat them. You've got diabetes.
The amount of snacks I've had to eat because it's pushed my blood sugar too high.
Oh, no.
Sad for her, but, you know, it's great for me. So that is Valentine's Day. And let us know in the chat, what are you guys doing for Valentine's Day? And whilst we're on the topic, James, I don't know if it can come to mind. Maybe you can remember it, maybe not. What was your best ever Valentine's Day? Can you think of anything specific that you've done? Or is it too broad a question going back years?
Just put it out there. Better not be with anyone else.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of trouble are you trying to get me into?
It's on the spot. It's a tough one.
But Valentine's Day is not really something that I generally do. It's not because for me, I shouldn't just show you I love you on one day.
Yeah.
That's an everyday thing.
It's a good answer.
So I don't generally we don't generally celebrate Valentine's Day, but because obviously I saw this, we then decided that we were going to do something. So that's it really. We just generally get a card for each other and just spend time with each other.
That's really nice, to be fair. I am getting a bit of backlash off the wife in the comments. She says that I'm so cruel, I just sit in front of her eating all sorts.
Just sit there
I,
like, oh no,
I
you
can't
can't
change
eat
my
this.
diet.
Oh, no.
And sometimes I do eat like biscuits and things in the kitchen and Pringles and out the way, but she'll be like, "What you scranning in there, you fat shit?" like she knows I'm up to something in the kitchen. She knows
I'm just putting this out there, right? Cole is not in the wrong. Right? Just because you can't eat it doesn't mean that he can't have fun and
Thank
eat
you.
it. If he doesn't eat it and you don't eat it, it will go bad, which means it will be a waste of money. So Cole
Stop buying it.
Cole is technically saving money. I've got you back, mate.
Thank
I've
you,
got you
James.
all back.
Hero move.
Yeah.
Sometimes as well, like I'll lie behind her when we're watching stuff, and I'll eat like really quietly behind her, and it'll be like Jaffa cakes or something, and she'll be like, "I know you've got something back there," and like. I've had quite a lot of like the alcohol infused chocolate for Christmas. People like to get me like Bailey's infused chocolates and stuff. And because she doesn't drink anyhow, I'll be like, "Oh, it's alcoholic chocolate, so you wouldn't be able to have it anyhow." And that's worth a treat, because she wouldn't even be able to have it anyhow.
Yeah, exactly.
And not because she's pregnant, she just doesn't, she never drinks and she doesn't have it in the food. So that's actually like a great excuse on my end.
All I'm going to say is that not all heroes wear capes, okay? Some heroes are unsung and don't get the gratitude that they deserve.
I feel like I'm getting
out there doing. You are out there doing God's work, my friend.
Thank you, James. At least someone supports me. I've had further backlash here. She says the reason I can't eat any of these nice things is because I'm carrying his child, and he should be taking one for the team.
Yeah, but it's also your child as well, Ash. So
that's it. She's put, "I hope I'm that unsung hero over here growing a whole human." I'm going to move on from backlash because actually that ties in nicely to my next point, in fact. And no one called me out on this in the last episode that I was on, guys. So we did an episode with Danny, Hijabi Hooligan, Hijabi Who she's now known as. And I actually made a big history mistake and no one pulled me up on it. So I am going to acknowledge it. Yeah, I was rewatching it to do the prompts, ready for release, and yeah, I think it's actually the first like Assassin's Creed lore mistake I've made whilst coming on the podcast, which isn't bad considering I've done 20 plus episodes, so not bad. But I just want to clarify, guys, that this is referring to the Assassin's Creed Netflix TV show and the rumors that were coming out that it's going to cover Nero. And I believe in the episode I said that this is before the time of the Hidden Ones, because it's before the time of Aya and Bayek, but I just want to make it clear that Nero, the emperor, came after Caesar, and the way we can figure this out is obviously there are historical records, but Caesar was never an emperor of Rome, but he served as a dictator until his assassination. But his adopted son Augustus, who's known as Octavian, so Emperor Augustus, he became the first official Roman emperor. So first of all, apologies for getting the facts wrong on this. And I've also gone on ChatGPT to get the correct numbers as well. So Caesar was assassinated on the 15th of March, 44 BCE. Nero was born on December 15th, 37 CE. So Nero was born 79 years after Caesar's death. So this means that the Hidden Ones were in fact around during this time. So obviously way before the time of like the word assassin, which would come a lot later, like maybe even 1,000 years later, 900 years later. But there are the original Hidden Ones like coming after Bayek and Aya, the roots that they laid. So just want to make it clear that this isn't before the establishment of the Brotherhood in terms of Assassin's Creed Origins. But yeah, I also had a few facts that I wanted to get into because James, you shared some really interesting stuff about Nero last time. So done a bit of research whilst we're on the case. Once again, guys, sorry about the incorrect facts. I won't do it again. I'm normally pretty hot on Assassin's Creed lore, but I guess this hasn't been established yet. I haven't played it. I haven't seen it. That's the thing. It's going to be an Assassin's Creed TV show. I learn a lot about history from Assassin's Creed, and I imagine a lot of people do as well. And I can't actually think of any sort of media that's covered Nero as a an emperor of Rome. I've not watched anything with him as the emperor. There were so many emperors and reigns within Rome, and I am interested in Roman history, but it's such a broad scope. There's so much. I'm a big fan of like Gladiator and films like that, but Nero's not in any of these things that I've seen. So a few facts that I realized. He reigned from AD 54 until his suicide in AD 68. And whilst I'm reading off these interesting things about him, guys, visualize this in an Assassin's Creed TV show that Netflix are currently producing. And he's known for the murder of his own mother. So this is rough, by the way. And you guys can sort of make your own decision up if you think Nero's going to be an ally to the assassin, if he's going to be like an Order of Ancients sort of style antagonist. I imagine that's where we're going with this. I imagine he's going to be a villain. He murdered his own mother, Agrippina the Younger. After trying unsuccessfully to kill her several times, he finally sent a boat designed to sink to transport her to a party. The boat did sink. She then swam to the shore, and he got desperate when he saw her climbing out the water. He then ordered a soldier to kill her on the shores. So this is rough, like he's killed his own mother, and people are also speculating that during his time as emperor, he burnt Rome to the ground and then rebuilt it to look like the hero. So he's like a madman if this is true, and they could really play into this. It could be a piece of Eden that's manipulating his mind. It's really interesting to think there's no proof that he himself burnt Rome to the ground. It could have been that they wanted him to join the Order of Ancients or early Templars, and he was refusing, so they did it to make his reign harder. It could be, I doubt the assassins or the hidden ones would do this, but yeah, it leads there's a lot of ideas that can throw around with that. It could be the people up in arms, like in Gladiator 2, you see Rome burning as well. It's interesting that people are speculating this, and the thing is, Nero had so many enemies. He was persecuting the Christians with crucifixion. He was setting people on fire. He was setting animals on people, and just in general, his cruelty is well known. So really interesting possible antagonist for the Assassin's Creed TV show. And he also ordered the murder of his first wife. So his mother, his first wife, and his second wife. So 3 different people he's murdered or had put to death. He tired of his first wife, Octavia. He had her banished, and it says here he sent assassins after her. So who knows? Maybe in Assassin's Creed lore, he can send the hidden ones after her. Maybe she was an Order of Ancients member. He then married a lady called Poppaea, a noblewoman he had fallen in love with, but later kicked her to death in a fit of rage while she was pregnant. This is brutal.
I think she's the one. So when we did that episode, I told you my fact about him. It's the one thing. So I quite like Roman history. And it's one of the things that I know. And I'm pretty sure that she's the woman that he murdered, and then he turned one of the guys into a eunuch because they looked like
right,
because he felt guilty.
Quite possibly. So the story continues, and I was saying to James recently, guys, that we'd love to get some actual historians on Rally the Creed on our show to really get in depth on the history behind things. So that'd be really cool. And so just to make it clear, guys, the TV series for Assassin's Creed by Netflix, it probably will feature the hidden ones, and it's possibly going to be trying to end Nero's cruel reign and the tyranny that was in place during this time in Rome. His first wife could have been a member of the Order of Ancients. The fact that the wiki mentions the word assassin, so these are obviously heavily trained individuals. Maybe it was the hidden ones. Maybe she was an Order of Ancients member. I mean, I love the idea of, in Assassin's Creed Valhalla, you've got the king who is manipulating both the assassins and the Order because he's the head of them. He then sort of gives Eivor information to wipe them out. What if it's a situation like that where they're playing both sides? maybe Nero is just so cruel and he's been twisted by an apple of Eden, which most likely will be in the show. It's the most recognizable piece of Eden.
Yeah.
Or maybe even being manipulated by early assassins to kill her. Like, there's all sorts of possibilities that come with this. So, James, any ideas or preferences on where you'd like that to go in terms of his cruelty? Would you like him to be linked to the Order, or would you like him to be like an ally for the early assassins, the proto-assassins, the hidden ones?
I'd like him to be Order of the Ancients. I'd like him to be
like a Cesare sort of.
I'd like him to be. I want him to be as brutal as possible. I want him to be. I want to see why he needs to be removed. I need to see the impact that he has, and potentially we could be looking at people that are just regular people to start off with. His actions have directly affected them, so I'm looking forward to this. I want him to be. He's considered a bad guy. History would know him as a bad guy. So I think, give him the Order of the Ancients. Don't make him an assassin. That would make him too much of a hero. So
yeah. That's a very fair comment, and that ties in nicely, guys, to our big news that we've had. And it only came out, I believe it was yesterday or the day before, that the actors from the Assassin's Creed Netflix series who have been announced. So this is Toby Wallace, Laura Marcus, Tamsin Crawford, and Lola Pettigrew are currently in Rome. And there's a photo of all four of them outside the Colosseum, not far away from where I proposed, by the way. So if you have a look at that picture, we'll put it on screen in the post-edit, guys. Not too far away. So this is really cool. Why are they in Rome, James? Do you think they're doing some on-the-ground field work? Or
potentially it could be a mix of a couple of things. If I was an actor and I was doing a film or TV series based in Rome, I'd want to go to Rome to get a feel of what we're looking at, because you can get that feel from sets and stuff, but you can't imagine what it's like to stand in the middle of the Colosseum unless you literally stood in the middle of the Colosseum.
It's incredible. I mean, we did the tour of it, and we were there with the lady, and she was telling us that the sand there would go like a dark color because of the blood that would drip into it, and they had to constantly be replacing the sand. It's just incredible to think that they had like these trap doors underneath it where they'd release animals. The thing that blew my head clean off, my head rolled off my shoulders hearing this and seeing this. There was a show, and I need to find the title of it. I'll do some research in a minute, guys. But it shows the Colosseum being filled with water, and alligators are placed in the water. And they'd send people out on ships, and then like crocodiles, alligators, hippos would attack people in ships, and they'd like recreate ancient battles using their enemies tied up, or they'd give them like basic archery sets and just send them out against these beasts. I think that is the most incredible thing I've ever heard in my entire life. And watching it on this show, it's an Amazon Rome show. Let me do some research on this, guys, because this was absolutely phenomenal. I need to find out what it was called.
Yeah, they used to do naval battles and stuff, like recreate naval battles in the Colosseum and stuff.
Found the title, and I recommend this as homework, guys, because this is absolutely incredible. Those About to Die, it's called, on Amazon. What a show this is, by the way. I think it's one of the best representations of Rome I've ever seen. Have you seen this, James? It's phenomenal.
Sure. It's got it's got Anthony Hopkins in it. I keep looking at it about whether to watch it or not.
It's incredible, and it's really cool because it shows two different perspectives. You've got the perspective of a slave, which I guess is similar to Gladiator, and that's that angle. But you've also got the person in charge, like the slave master, who's like in charge of like the gambling ring, and he's sort of like manipulating all these fights and making money off it. But you've got like the stuff with the emperors running it. It's just amazing. Like, I've got to say, this is a top tier show for me. I would love a season 2, but watching the Colosseum fill, I wonder if we can get the clip and show you guys in post edits for this. Because honestly, I remember watching it, my jaw was on the ground. I've never seen anything like it. I had no idea the Colosseum could be used for like water events.
Basically,
Phenomenal.
I'm pretty sure that like while gladiators were generally slaves, there was people that chose to be gladiators because
Absolutely, for the glory of Rome.
yeah, it's like your modern day football player or whatever.
Or soldier, I'm thinking.
Yeah. No, I think they were treated more like a celebrity.
Celebrity.
And yeah, so essentially the Colosseum's like your live event. So
Yeah,
like a concert, it's where people save their money to go see something and be entertained. So they try and do as much as they can. So it would be like, as we said, they've done animals attacking. They've done animal fights. They do gladiator on gladiator. They do different houses, because I don't know if you've ever seen the show Spartacus.
No, I don't think I have.
That's
like a spin-off of the movies, or
it's like a series. Basically, it talks at Spartacus in a gladiator house, and he real person led a rebellion against Rome. It's like a little bit, but it's a really good, almost like a 300 style.
I like them.
Yeah, so I think you'd like that. But going back to it, I think that they're potentially they're getting filming, or because if it's set in ancient Rome, you film in Rome, no?
Of course. It's incredible to think that they're still standing and they're in great condition, because I think the Roman government or the Italian government in general do a great job at like preserving these ancient sites, and it's incredible when you look at. Yeah, obviously it was stripped away, the stone over the years, and used to build other bits of Rome, but it's still standing somehow in that heat as well. So I wonder if they're there maybe to build relationships, to get a bit of a rapport before they
Maybe.
act together. I think you mentioned that as well. But another one is they could be there like with the writers. They could be there having meetings. There's a ton of reasons why they could be there, or even just like preparing for filming. For all we know, the script is done. They're ready. They're going to start filming in a week or two. We don't know.
They could potentially, because we don't know.
We don't know what stage they're at with this project.
You could film some historical elements in modern day Rome.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that, James, because we don't know if.
But we don't know if there's going to be a modern.
That's quite right. We don't know if these 4 actors are modern day, if they're in the past. We don't know anything about them, to be fair. We just know that Nero is in the show and it's set in Rome. Literally, we have limited details at this time. And I wonder if we'll maybe learn a bit more over the coming weeks. It seems like things are cooking nicely. They're finally making things happen with it. They're in Rome now. What does that mean, really, though? Like, could they just be there on holiday? Are they there ready to act? Are they writing the script and these guys are coming giving their ideas? Like, we don't know what level we're at with this project, but it is still there. Obviously, with the reshuffling within Ubisoft, this is a collaboration with Netflix, so it's obviously still on the cards, because we know a lot of cancellations have happened recently in terms of Ubisoft games, but this is 100% still happening, which is really positive to see. And yeah, I'll be keeping an eye on these guys. I've got them all on Instagram now. I've given them all a follow. A few of them have been posting on their Instagram stories. They were playing a bit of music in the street. So that was really cool to see. They're all building bonds, and hopefully that comes across on the screen. We want to see good relationships between the characters. We want this to succeed.
But we just said about cancellations for Ubisoft and stuff. I think this is more of a Netflix project with Ubisoft on the sideline, as opposed to it being a Ubisoft project with Netflix on the sideline. So I don't think this is going anywhere anytime soon. Netflix don't generally cancel many things. I don't think, even good or bad. I think they try and run with it anyway. So
Yeah, quite
we'll
often
see.
when Netflix cancel a show, they've normally had like a season or two, and then they'll
Yeah,
drop it. And it's always possible for another company to pick it up, but hopefully it doesn't come to that with Assassin's Creed. We have a nice solid first season that hopefully can take us into a second season in a different location, something completely different, because that's what the games do so well. They travel through time. We are time travelers when we play Assassin's Creed, and we learn a bit of history along the way. We have fun. And yeah, it puts it to in like Assassin's Creed spin on it. And yeah, we'll get into later why we love the series. But just to recap, James, in the last episode, to move on to a bit of different news that's been in the Assassin's Creed community as well. That is that the Assassin's Creed multiplayer mode, which was codenamed League, has been cancelled. And this was going to be developed by Ubisoft Anarchy. I'm not sure where that is, sorry, and I probably pronounced that wrong. But this was going to be like a co-op sort of style mode for Assassin's Creed Shadows, a bit like the Unity sort of drop-in, drop-out system, but it's been completely shut down. And this is sad, really, because I know a lot of people would have liked a co-op mode to continue Assassin's Creed Shadows and to have multiplayer with your friends. Obviously, you've got the allies. They're useful in battle, but they're very samey. You know, they've got the same combat moves.
Yeah.
They've got the same vocal lines, and they become a bit annoying after a while. So it would have been nice to have your friends in. But yeah, how do you feel about it, James? I think you might have touched on it last week, but yeah, it's an opportunity for us to discuss it.
I actually am not mad about this in the slightest. I'm shocked that it even was attempted to go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not fussed. I don't. Thing is, I'm not a massive multiplayer person anyway. But I don't play Assassin's Creed so that I can play with my friends. I play Assassin's Creed because it gives me time on my own to just chill out and not have to worry about anything. But when you have to add in, oh, do you want a friend to come and play with you? Do you want to? I'm not mad about it at all. I'm glad it's. I'm not glad that another Ubisoft studio has had a project that they're working on, they've put time and effort into, be cancelled. I'm just glad that it's not a possibility right now, and I'm happy about it. I'm not mad at it at all.
It's a very valid perspective, to be fair. And when you put it like that, I wonder if they're going to redistribute any of the people involved on this project perhaps into something more worthwhile to push the brand forward. The only thing I would say is Assassin's Creed hasn't had a good multiplayer mode in many years. I know Invictus is currently on the cards, and I don't know if we've mentioned it on the show, but it sounds like even the developers don't want that to release. It doesn't sound like it's got a great support network going on within the studio that's creating it. It also sounds like the people who are making it aren't passionate about that project, and it's just like a Fall Guys. It's like, who is the target audience for Invictus? Is it kids? Is it adults? Because it looks like, from what everyone's saying, very childish and silly. So I don't know, like, that's not it when we talk about multiplayer mode. That's not the direction we want Assassin's Creed. Well, I personally don't want Assassin's Creed to go. I don't want it to become like a kid brand, if that makes sense, for like 9-year-olds. Like I mean, we've already been on like the games that everyone plays, you know, like the younger style games. I can't think of it off the top of my head. What's the game with all the dances?
Oh, Fortnite.
Yeah, we've already had like Fortnite characters and stuff. I don't know. Every time they do a bad collaboration, I see it as like damaging to the brand. So yeah, I can see it from that perspective.
Has Assassin's Creed ever had a bad collaboration?
Yeah, I'm thinking of the Assassin's Creed Shadows DLC that came out. What was that?
Yeah,
who was that with?
We won't. No. That's not what we're. That never happened. Okay, that never happened. But what I mean is, like when you're talking about Fortnite, Division 2, those sort of things. Have we ever had a bad one? I don't think we have, because I feel like the people doing the collaboration want to do it justice and they want it to work, so they put a lot of effort into it. Look at Raid, for instance. They're doing really big right now.
That's brilliant.
On their assassin stuff. The assassin stuff for Division 2, it's really good stuff. It's made really well. They look great.
Yeah, that's a fair comment. I have actually got one that comes to mind, James, and this might be an unpopular opinion because I'm not really a player of Final Fantasy, but in Assassin's Creed Origins, they did a collaboration with Final Fantasy, and to me, it just felt very random. So Bayek is riding a chocobo. There's like almost like magical elements to it.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just found it very strange, this crossover. I wasn't a big fan of it. It takes me out of the immersion of, I'm playing Assassin's Creed. And it just felt a bit cringe to me. It was almost like going through a gateway and out comes Arden from Final Fantasy. I don't know. It doesn't hit for me. I don't think they need to do it in that way. I like Easter eggs and things, so a good example of this is when you could find the Harry Potter references in one of the games. Was that in Assassin's Creed Mirage, maybe? I forget. But that was a cool Easter egg, where there was like the locket on the table. There was the snake. I want to check which Assassin's Creed game that was in. Do you know what I mean? Like, I like it when they like tastefully put a little reference in. No, it was Assassin's Creed Valhalla, in fact. So, yeah, I like that one. And I like it when fans can find these references in the game, but when it's very like on the nose collaboration, I don't know. I think it has to be done very well, or it opens itself up to like this is very like not lore friendly, if that makes sense. And as a big fan of Assassin's Creed lore, like I like things to happen in the games that happened in the lore, if that makes sense. So I don't know. I can find it quite damaging, but maybe that's just me, like as an old-time fan of the series. How do you guys in the comments feel? Can you think of any bad collaborations Assassin's Creed's done over the years? I mean, another one I can think of was Deus Ex for Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. You can get the robes of Adam Jensen. I say robes, it's like a cyberpunk sort of style robot. Like, James, you'll have to Google this, and guys, we'll get a picture on screen for you. I wasn't a huge fan of this. I think it was Assassin's Creed Brotherhood or 82.
I didn't know about this.
Really strange. Do you like it?
I like the game. I didn't know it was in Assassin's Creed Brotherhood.
Yeah, it is an outfit you can get, and I'm just not a huge fan of that particular look, to be honest. But maybe that's just me. I do like Adam Jensen, and I am a fan of Deus Ex. I hope they bring it back one day. And I was reminded by it recently I think Willis Makes Movies did a recent video covering the outfits, which she often does. So great job, Lewis. But yeah, not one of my favorite outfits. But yeah, if you guys can think of any more collaborations from Assassin's Creed in the past that haven't hit, do let us know in the comments. So yeah, that's where we're at with that. And James, you've added some notes here about the Ubisoft stocks, and I was wondering if you could get into that. And that's new, something I've missed.
So since we've been talking about Ubisoft stocks, stocks is something that I've always tried to look at to try and get into. So just before the live, I was like, I'll have a quick look to see how their stocks are doing. And they've actually risen. So they were at the lowest the other day at €4 per share. That is dismal. At its highest today, it jumped to 4.8 euros per share. That's not a massive jump. It's currently sat at €4 and 66 cents or whatever it is per share. So we're looking at about an 8% rise since it dropped, which is pretty good. So something is, whatever they're doing right now, then this is why I wanted to talk about it, because whatever they're doing right now is working slightly, because it's doing what they wanted it to do. It was raising stocks. All they've done is cancelled some games. They haven't really launched anything in that time period. There's no new news about games or possible outcomes or whatever you might be. All they've done is cancelled some games, closed some studios, took a step back, and that has risen their stocks up a little bit. So potentially, I do know that on Thursday they're having their financial meeting or whatever it is. So that's on Thursday. That's why they were speculating that it's not going to be at State of Play, because that's on Thursday as well.
Right. Okay, that makes sense.
So potentially we could see something at State of Play, maybe, but heading into this financial meeting on Thursday, the stock's going up by 8.5%. I think is a good thing for them.
Definitely, they need a win right now, and it's what you said with the numbers. Maybe things are stabilizing. Obviously, there are still people who are probably going to lose their jobs. There are people who have lost their jobs, which is horrible. But in terms of like investors and people who own stocks already, maybe things are stabilizing and things are becoming a bit more sort of less turbulent within the company, because they've had a really difficult time recently, and so have the people working for the company. I feel really sorry for anyone who's been made redundant recently, and very difficult time for them. And hopefully things can level off at Ubisoft. They can prioritize it. It's like what we said about cancelling Assassin's Creed Project League, which was the multiplayer mode. Maybe they're finally focusing on things which will actually be a win for the company, rather than like loads of side projects. You know, they've cancelled tons of things, like seven unannounced projects or something, and postponed others. You know, that there's a real shift going on within the company, and that always does unsell people at first. So maybe this is things leveling off a bit, and we should find out a bit more on Thursday, some new projections perhaps about where the company is going. Maybe if Tencent are planning on buying any more stocks within the company, or anyone else, of course, because Ubisoft stocks are at an all-time low about 2 episodes ago, so it was only about 2 weeks ago. So it's interesting to hear that things are on the rise.
So if you were to buy stocks in Ubisoft, now is the time to do it. They're currently sat so low that you potentially, let's say you buy stocks right now for however much, and then Black Flag Resync launches, and it's absolutely fantastic. Those stocks are going to skyrocket, and you're looking at an immediate return on your investment. So if you buy stocks, now is the time to do it.
That is a very good point. And I wonder if any of you guys in the comments have got the sort of funds to buy a bit of stocks within Ubisoft. So let us know if you own a share of Ubisoft. Who knows? That would be interesting. And that sort of pulls us back to where we were, James, with the multiplayer. And I was sort of wondering about it. What's been like the general community response to this cancelling?
So for weeks now, I've seen videos of, what are Ubisoft doing? They've cancelled this game. They've cancelled this game. What are they doing now? They should just sell the IPs. And generally, it gets a bit frustrating. The biggest one I'm seeing right now is people complaining that they've cancelled the co-op mode for Shadows League. And it's okay to complain that something's been cancelled. I get it. That's okay. We can all get frustrated that they're cancelling games right now. But these are the same people that will also complain about microtransactions in Assassin's Creed or Ubisoft games in general. And I'm sat there watching these videos and I'm thinking to myself, you do realize that if this co-op game was to come out, there would be skins, there would be weapon packs, there would be quality of life packs, there would be time saver packs. You're literally asking for a mode that is going to give you more transactions than you can count, that you can absolutely shake a stick at. So what are we complaining about here? Are we complaining that Ubisoft isn't making money or they're cancelling games, or are we complaining because it's Ubisoft and not another company? Because if it was another company cancelling games, we probably wouldn't be having this conversation. Ubisoft right now is so good for engagement, not the company. But if we were to post something about Ubisoft right now, I can guarantee the amount of messages that you would get will probably be more leading towards the anger and the hateful side than it would be on anything good. So are we just hating now? Are we just complaining just for the sake of complaining? Or are we genuinely sitting down and going, oh yeah, I wanted this co-op mode that's like Unity, even though Unity's co-op mode didn't really work very well? Or are we just complaining because Ubisoft's cancelled another game?
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. For me, my counter argument, I guess, would be that I think microtransactions should be promoted in a tasteful way. And quite often than not, the way Ubisoft promotes microtransactions, it almost feels like they're really focused on like the Helix store or whatever it's called now. I don't go anywhere
Yeah.
near it personally, but a lot of social media, like heavy promotion of it, in the game for like Valley of Memory and like things like this. That was great because that was a free DLC. But there was the other one as well, which was the collaboration that we did mention before. Can you remember what that one was, James? For Assassin's Creed Shadows, they had a collab which was really.
I don't. Was there a collab for Shadows? I don't. Trying to think.
I genuinely can't remember. It was so unmemorable. But in
Hmm.
that, there was a thing
I'm
where
not too sure.
there was an outfit which was promoted and you could only get it after by buying it. So people thought they would unlock this skin which was in all the promotional art and in all the trailers and stuff, but you could only get it through the store. And yeah, I just feel like all the good stuff is in the store and you can't get it outside of the store. It was all right when we had Redder, but yeah, I just think microtransactions should be done in obviously like a fair way and a way where everyone can get it without being like hounded the second you boot it up. You know, it has to be done respectfully. Like it should be like an additional thing, if that makes sense.
I 100% agree with you. Do you know what irks me the most about microtransactions in Assassin's Creed games is that they've been in Assassin's Creed for the longest time. Like
Attack on Titan, I was thinking of.
I don't remember that. I played every mode for Shadows. I don't remember that one. But anyway, microtransactions have been around in Assassin's Creed for the longest time. The only problem now, and why it is so prevalent right now, is because every company does something. You got Call of Duty that's putting out skins every single day, and I think I saw somewhere that the average live service game makes roughly about £40 million,
right,
annually. Every company. This is why we're sat here going, well, Ubisoft are greedy. They're doing this. They're trying to get this. Okay, but those weapons that you have in the store, they're not even the strongest weapons in the game.
Fair enough.
Like I can get a weapon in Shadows, for instance, that is it Violet Knight? Is one of the best weapons in Shadows. It's Poison Affliction is absolutely fantastic. And it's a weapon that you get in the game. So you don't necessarily have to go to the store and buy something, but you're only buying it if you want to. Like nobody's forcing you to buy it. The only problem I do have is with the Attack on Titans. When you finish the collaboration, it instantly pops up with an ad to go to the store. That is what I don't like. That is my issue. But generally, if I don't want to buy something from the store, I wouldn't even go to the store, so it wouldn't even.
I just don't go near that. Like, that's for people
Yeah.
who want to do that, who obviously have the money to spend on microtransactions. But it's not for me, to be personally honest. Like, I've been offered like early access to microtransactions and things, but I've never really been interested in these sort of opportunities, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's just not for me personally.
I just think they've been around for so long, and I think the reason that I could be wrong, but I think the reason that Ubisoft is getting such a hard time about it right now is because we are sick to death of games like FIFA, Call of Duty, Fortnite. All these games have massive stores in them that you are forced in such a way to buy the skins. If you don't buy, for instance, Call of Duty, when I used to play Call of Duty, if something got added to the store, they would make that store item the best in the game. And if you didn't have it, you were losing every gunfight. So what that would force you to do is go buy the gun so you could keep up with the gunfight, and then after about a week and a half, they would nerf that gun and then put another one in the store.
Yeah.
And that's a problem. FIFA, they get packs where you can unlock footballers that you can only use for like 10 games or whatever, which then forces you to buy more of them. And it's this constant perpetual cycle. Those are the microtransactions that we have a problem with. Those are the systems that we have an issue with. But because Assassin's Creed has a store in it that they sometimes do promote in such a way, that's why we're getting such a hard time. Shadows, I think they did it really well in Shadows, where you have the store. If you want to buy stuff from the store, that's fine. But then they gave you the projects, which is like a battle pass, but it's free, which allows you to unlock keys that you can then buy stuff that's in the store for free. You're not actually paying anything for it. So I like how that's done. But even that, I've seen videos where people are even complaining about that system. I'm like, that's literally free. It's not forcing you to do anything.
And the keys are everywhere. You stumble across the keys all the time, to be fair. I do miss Redder. I thought that brought a bit of a personality to the whole thing. And that was quite good. But I guess I've got memories of COVID, like in COVID times, in 2020, with Assassin's Creed Valhalla, going to visit Reddit every single day, doing his little challenges, getting the items. And that was quite nice in a way. Reddit was my little pal.
Yeah. But
Reddit.
I want to know from you and anyone in the chat, this is going to sound really clickbaity, but I don't want it to be. Do you think that it's become cool to hate Ubisoft in a way to the point where it's becoming a bit ridiculous, or do they warrant the hate? If
I see what you're saying. Personally, for me, I think it's a bit of a mix. I don't think Ubisoft have behaved very well in terms of like the way they've dealt with the current ongoing situation, with all the staff members, the reshuffle, redundancies. But I think Yves Guillemot as well hasn't been the most respectable of figureheads for the company. I don't think he handled the Me Too movement very well. So I think over the last few years, there is like a bit of a movement and backlash against Yves to stand down and the brothers within the company. I think people don't like the ownership of Ubisoft, and for that reason, they want the company to fail. and they do actually want Ubisoft to go under because they see it as like a boys' club. Like Eve and his brothers are running this company into the ground. They're milking Assassin's Creed for every penny they've got. I think that is like a perspective a lot of people have. But then on the other hand as well, I think when Ubisoft are down, people give them a good hard kick. I think there are a lot of people out there who jump on this. They look for weakness in any company and they really make money off it, and they go hard on the YouTube videos. And like it's like I was saying a few weeks ago, where there is the thing where there are people out there, the grifters, who look for something which like promotes diversity and they attack on that, and then they move on to the next project. I think there are people who do that with companies that are like not performing very well. You know, there's weakness shown, and I think they just kick them hard with like their perspective, and they send all their like millions of followers over as well to give their opinion on social media. And I think it's a bit of both, so it is warranted in a way because Ubisoft hasn't been run very well. People are losing their jobs within, and it's a horrible situation from that perspective. But then at the same time as well, you know, you've got to think they are trying to dig their way out of this hole. So it's an interesting one. What do you guys in the chat think? And as well, post edit, what do you guys think of the comments? And James, what do you think about this?
I kind of think that I agree. It's a mixed bag of both. They do warrant some, not hate, but they do warrant some, as I spoke about in my YouTube video. Nice little plug there. As I spoke about in that video, I was like, they have messed up, and they have created such an environment for us that we don't trust them anymore. So some of this hate is warranted. But on the other hand, we see many other gaming developing companies do the exact same practices, but nobody's calling for Activision to sell COD's IP to somebody who cares, or the selling of FIFA or whatever it might be. And it's like, it just frustrates me so much, because I grew up playing Ubisoft games, and as I spoke about Sunday with the Scouse Assassin, I think I've played almost every Ubisoft game. I was going through my library on my Xbox, and there's so many. And then to think that potentially one day this company might not be here, it does depress me slightly. But on the other hand, I now have another question that's going to sound a bit... If you were in Eve's shoes, and this is your company, this is the company that you've run for so long, would you give up your company if people were asking you to give up your company?
Do you know what I would do? You've
put all this work and all this effort into this company.
Yeah.
Yes, you're going through a rough patch right now, but you were running this company when it had its good times. People always talk about the good old Ubisoft. That was your time. This is now. If you were Eve and you were looking at social media and they were all calling for you to resign, give up, essentially either sell your company or let somebody else run it, would you be willing to take a step back?
I have a perspective on this. You guys might find it really cringe and hate it, but I've just come up with it now. To give you some perspective, there are football teams out there where fans own like the majority of the stakes in the company, and there are fan-owned clubs. There are a few in the Netherlands. I think Ajax is one. But if I was Eve, I would rename the company to Ubisoft, Youbisoft, and I would encourage fans to buy stocks, and I would get to a place where like 60% of the stocks are owned by fans of different franchises. Maybe 20% can be owned by Assassin's Creed fans, 20% by Splinter Cell, Just Dance. Rayman, Raven Rabbits, or whatever. I don't know, different brands within the company, different fans. So if there's a big fan ownership, then I would keep the Tencent ownership, and then I would have Ubisoft ownership. So I'd split it into three different things. I'd rebrand it as Ubisoft. They have such an image problem at Ubisoft. It's seen as like modern day Abstergo. They have become what they have been showing in the Assassin's Creed games. They are now like corporate, hiding in company towers, making these decisions. They're not seen as like a nice people, like small company. They're seen as like a corporate, like business, which is like cold and making ruthless decisions. They've got such an image problem. I think they need to show more personality. Because the thing is, I know people at Ubisoft personally. They're lovely. You never get that on social media. You never get to meet the people behind the Ubisoft. So I think they need to rebrand and look at who owns what in the company. Is that a cringe response? What do you think?
I don't think it's cringe, but I think it would be it would be a way of you keeping your company. But if I was in Eve's shoes, I'm going to be completely honest, I'd be doing everything I could to keep my company in my hands. I would be. So I'm not saying he's right. I'm not saying he's a good person or a bad person. All I'm saying is that we have to look at this as in a perspective that, yes, you should be getting rid of your company, but if we were in his shoes, would we be so willing to do that? If that was our company, if somebody said to you right now, Cole, you've been running the ones who came before really poorly, really bad. You need to resign and give it to someone else. Would you be willing to step away from that baby? And I know if someone said to me, James, give up your TikTok, someone else is going to run it from now on, I'd be like, no. Mm-hmm. And this is something I don't make money from. So if I had a multi-million pound company and somebody was trying to take that away from me, I'd be reluctant to.
Perspective indeed. And yeah, I agree, it's difficult to make them decisions, and he's probably with his brothers in the tower right now just planning how to keep this company. I just see Yves Guillemot as such a Mr. Burns figure. Like this.
Yeah, he's definitely got his cat just sat on a swivel chair, just
and his son Charlie comes in the room and he's like, Daddy, please can I have a new project? And he's like, yes, lead Assassin's Creed. This is a new project for you. Move away from NFTs, take on Assassin's Creed. I don't know, I just see it as a bit like that. They've got such an image problem. There's no spokesperson for Ubisoft either. It's just so corporate. Who is like, there's no one speaking to us directly, the fans.
Yeah, that's something that obviously we've spoken about many times before. Is that there is no engagement from this company right now. But again, this is where I always do this. I kind of split it down the middle. I'm like, okay, we have to accept some of the responsibility here, because yes, they're not giving us anything. They're not talking to us about anything. There's nobody specifically that we can reach out to and be like, oh, how's this going? Or what's going on now? What's this going? But if there was somebody, that someone right now, as we're talking, would be receiving so much hate and so much anger right now. The best thing to do is not have somebody in that job and not give someone that unnecessary stress of having to deal with 20 million angry Assassin's Creed fans.
Yeah.
And I'm always saying, I view our relation, not the ones who came before, but the community's relationship with Ubisoft, I see it as a relationship. There is Ubisoft's side of the story, there's our side of the story, and then somewhere in the middle, it's a little bit of both, but in the middle is the truth slightly. And we also have to accept our part in this. There's essentially, if every time Ubisoft releases something, the community goes, this is rubbish, this is bad, why haven't you done this, why haven't you done that, why is this not done, why is this not done, I'd probably not give you anything either.
Yeah.
But like, I'm just going to stay quiet, because if I stay quiet, you're not going to give me any hate. But by staying quiet, I'm also getting hate, so I can't win either way. So I'm just going to stay quiet. I always try and put myself in. I know I've had a grumble, but I try and put myself in a position where I'm like, okay, if I was in their shoes, how would I be feeling right now? Would I be willing to do this? Would I be willing to do that? What would I do next? And I think if anyone was to take the emotion out of their arguments and have that conversation with themselves, 9 times out of 10, they'd probably all agree with Eve right now and be like, I'm not giving up my company. Why should I? I started this 20, 30 years ago or whatever. I'm not giving this up.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that, to be fair. And this is the thing, I think we've covered it quite a lot recently, and I think you covered it in your video recently as well. Assassin's Creed fans are very hard to please, because there's such a wide audience across the world who are looking for different things to come out of Assassin's Creed and what they're interested in as well. So some people might be really interested in the original games, where others only care, like Odyssey Plus with the RPG style. It's such a broad spectrum of fans, and there are people all around the world, like I say, and to please all these people, Ubisoft have been trying to cater to too many audiences for too long. So they're trying to give you like a bit of everything. But Assassin's Creed fans, if you ask them what they want from the future of Assassin's Creed, they're all going to give you like different answers. And we see that on the show quite a lot. And that's why it makes it really interesting conversation to have. But yeah, I'm glad to hear that the stocks are improving at Ubisoft. Hopefully things can level off. We'll learn more on Thursday at the financial meeting. And before we move on to the community news section, James, I just want to say that I've actually misremembered this outfit from Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. You know, the one before, which I thought was from Deus Ex? I thought it was an Adam Jensen outfit. It turns out the Raiden outfit is actually a homage to Metal Gear, which I've never played. But we'll get the picture on screen now, guys. And I thought the Raiden outfit, for all these years, was Adam Jensen from Deus Ex, but it turns out it's from Metal Gear. So you never know. There's things out there even I don't know.
Hold on. Can we? So we're going to talk about how I've never left the country.
Yes.
But we're going to gloss over the fact that you've never played a Metal Gear Solid game.
Should I have? Is this the one with
100%?
Is he called Snake?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. I'm aware of it. I just haven't got around to playing that yet.
This is actually shocked. This has shocked me more.
Are they good?
Oh yeah, definitely.
I imagine they're quite dated now. When was the most recent release?
They just did a remaster of Snake Eater, which was number 3.
Oh, okay, cool.
But in the second one, Sons of Liberty, there is a bad guy. There's a boss fight in it. And the boss fight, if you've got a memory card in like the old PlayStation, which is what it was on, you had a memory card in there, and it had another maker, like the guys who make Metal Gear. If you had another one of their games on your memory card, the character would talk about the game that you're on, and the only way that you could beat the boss, so basically he was psychic, and he knew the moves you were going to do before you did them. The way to beat him was to unplug it from player 1 and plug the controller into player 2. It is one of the best boss fights I've ever played in a video game ever.
Wild.
You definitely have to play it.
That's wild. I've never really heard of anything like that. Sort of like anticipating your moves, like almost like AI before AI, right?
Yeah, it was actually insane. It was a great boss fight. Like, he's talking to you and he mentions the games that are on your memory card. It was really good.
Mm-hmm. Well, I will get round to that. And also, why have you never left the country, James?
So when I was younger, my mom's scared of flying.
Same problem on my end. My mum's scared of flying as well.
And deep bodies of water. So even though we couldn't, even though we wouldn't fly, she wouldn't get on a boat either. So growing up, it was just not something we really did. And now 4 kids, it gets a bit expensive. I don't generally like being away from them for masses of time, because I only really see them at the weekend.
Fair enough.
But on our honeymoon, we're actually going to 2 places. We're going to Italy for a week.
Nice.
And then we're going to Scotland for a week.
Oh, lovely. That'll be good.
Or we'll go to Scotland first and then to Italy. I haven't decided yet.
Yeah. Oh, perfect. Well, that counts as one abroad country.
Yeah. So that's what I'll be doing.
I think that's valid as well. If your parents don't travel, then it's more difficult for you to get away, and especially having 4 kids as well. I imagine it would be really expensive.
Hey, we're going to Scotland in April for Easter, and it's costing us nearly like £1,500.
That's crazy. That is crazy. You'll have to let me know when you're on the way up to Scotland. Might be able to go and get a drink or something. Baby,
we'll stop in. We'll be like, little side quest.
Yeah. We don't know if it's a boy or a girl yet, by the way. But yeah, man, 100%. If you come up the M6, let me know and we can try to tie something in. I'll probably be on my paternity leave still in April, so I'll tie in well, actually.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, man.
Definitely, we'll do that.
Send me the dates after the show. So, moving on now, guys, to the community news. So, in the Assassin's Creed community, it was yesterday, actually, we have had it announced on LinkedIn that there are 2 new Assassin's Creed community managers joining the Ubisoft team. So the first one is Benjamin Neal, who writes on LinkedIn, "I'm thrilled to share that I'm joined the Assassin's Creed team at Ubisoft Montreal as a Ubisoft community manager. I'm incredibly excited to support such an iconic franchise, collaborate with the talented teams behind it, and work closely with the amazing community that has kept Assassin's Creed thriving for so many years. I look forward to supporting player voices, sharing upcoming adventures, and contributing to the world of Assassins and Templars. Every journey begins with a leap of faith. Here's to a new chapter and many more stories to come." So welcome, Benjamin. I think this is so exciting to have new people on the team. We'll build bridges with them, James. We'll have interactions with them over the next few years. Looking forward to working with Benjamin on hopefully having like a nice relationship with Ubisoft, which we always try and maintain. But yeah, best of luck to him in his new role. And we also have Jeffrey Santa Cruz as well, who's posted on LinkedIn. "New mission acquired, community manager for Assassin's Creed. I've always believed that the strongest bond in gaming is the one between the devs and the players. After a year of managing social media on Ubisoft Canada, I felt a pull to get back to that core relationship. Starting today, I am joining the Assassin's Creed team as a community manager. I want to deeply thank my UK and Nordic teams, as well as my colleagues from Montreal. Your creativity and support made hitting those massive engagement targets look easy, even when it wasn't. I'm ready to dive into the history and lore of AC and build something special." So welcome as well to Jeffrey. We're thrilled to have them, and hopefully we can do some work together, have a nice relationship with these guys, and excited to see what they bring to the Assassin's Creed community and Ubisoft in general. So James, what do you take away from these 2 posts on LinkedIn when you're reading them?
So I am currently looking at Benjamin Neal's experience. So he's now the Assassin's Creed community manager. He was an associate social media manager as well. And he's been a communications and broadcast assistant. So I'm quite looking forward to him. That looks like someone that knows how to interact with people on a personal level. So
I totally agree. These are really positive messages and sort of set out expectations for what they hope to achieve, building bridges with the AC community. They feel deeply connected to a relationship between developers and community members. I love this. I think this is great. People like this who make things happen and aren't just in it for the money. It's not just a job to them. They care and they come across really well in these messages. So yeah, both of them, wishing them the best of luck and looking forward to working with them in the future. So gonna sort of move on now to some discussion topics, James, that tie in with the Valentine's Day themes. I've gone with the theme of love for this, and I wanted to know how our love for Assassin's Creed began, why we still love Assassin's Creed. So I wonder if you could kick us off with that one.
So my love of Assassin's Creed came from a history point of view. I've always loved history. This is why we spend most of our times in either a castle or a museum or something looking at anything historical in any way, shape, or form. So for me, the first AC gave me a lot of love for history. And then one of my major loves is Italy and Rome, and that's that sort of historical time period. So when AC2 came out, I was literally all over it. What do you mean I get to run around like Italy? It's a given. So that was it. And then Ezio is what pulled me in to get to grow with him and watch him grow as a person as well as me grow as a person. That for me, it will never get better than that. And why I still love the series now, because every time I play this game, any of the games, as I'm playing it, I'm literally going through it. It's like, oh, this person, oh, what did this person do? And then I'm stopping what I'm doing. I'm having a look and I'm learning as I'm playing. For me, it doesn't get any better than this. We're in a museum in Oxford, and I'm literally walking around looking at Egyptian mummies and hieroglyphs and tombs and stuff, and I'm like, this is fantastic. This is like, I see it in a video game, but there's nothing quite like seeing it in real life, and then I get to appreciate it because I've seen it in that video game. And for me, that's why I love the series.
Great answer, James. And I fully agree. Assassin's Creed connects you to history that has really happened. So it
Yeah.
sort of makes you look at time differently. So you can appreciate all these things throughout history, and you've now got that connection to, oh, I've been there in terms of like the game. I mean, earlier today I was playing Assassin's Creed Origins, and I imagine if I went to a museum tomorrow, I'd be fascinated by like all the the pharaohs and the mummies and all that. It sort of just like makes it feel more real in a way, and the connection to history. But for me, I really like the lore of Assassin's Creed and what they've set out. So I think it's
Yeah.
quite brave for them to have like an Isu sort of, they've embraced the whole idea of ancient aliens, which has always been like a theory. And there have been a lot of people out there, ancient astronaut theorists, who put the idea forward that humans were created by a race of aliens and we are like test subjects. But Assassin's Creed took that idea and rolled with it, and they have ever since. So I like that. I like the conspiracy angle of it. Oh, I love the fact that Assassins and Templars are based on like true factions throughout history, and that they've progressed with different names throughout the timeline, and there are like shady dealings going on in the background. People we know as like historical figures who are actually connected to these like factions. I think they're really smart with it, and I like the way it's like a historical perspective but also philosophical as well. So you can look at Assassin's Creed as it's an ideological battle, and I think it's really cool because when you understand the ideology of Assassin's Creed, you can see that perspective in any other realm. So you can be watching a film and be like, oh, he's a Templar, he would be an assassin, and you can see it, like you can see it. Like, I don't want to get too deep with it. You can see it in politics. You can be like, oh, they're acting like a Templar. You know what I mean? Like, you can see it like throughout different regions. So like throughout history, you can see it throughout real world events. And I think Assassin's Creed makes you look at time differently and events, and sort of make you think at like, oh, these societies could be pulling the strings and they could be real today. Maybe not with the Assassin or Templar name, but sort of people with similar sort of intentions. So yeah, I think that's really smart. And I love how Assassin's Creed, you can travel across the world and not have to leave your office. I think it's so cool. I mean, I could be in Italy one minute, you know, I could be in France another one. Like, it's so cool. I can see all these different parts of history, and it's similar to what you said, the historical angle. I think that's so unique to this brand. I don't think anyone else is doing it, so that is a USP. And I also love that Assassin's Creed is still trying to do things different. So even though Shadows has had backlash, I still love that they've tried to do something differently. The narrative let it down, but they are still going with different angles. And yeah, I think Assassin's Creed will always be around. I know it's been going for, 19 years now or something. But I like to think that it can go another 20 years and just be something that I grew up with. So the nostalgia's there, but I'd love for my little boy to also grow up with it as well. And yeah, it's just a big part of my life. It's given me opportunities. You know, I've had opportunities around the world with Assassin's Creed. Can't go into all of them, but big opportunities from Ubisoft, a great relationship with them. I've met great friends for life, you being one, James, but people around the world. And it's just great to have this sort of network of assassins in any country around the world. You know, there are fans everywhere, and I'm sure wherever I could go, I could probably have an interesting Assassin's Creed conversation with someone, have things in common. And yeah, it's just like having a brotherhood or a sisterhood of people around the world who love the same thing. And yeah, it's really cool to have that and to meet people in person as well who are as equally as passionate or have like a unique perspective on things. You know, we get cosplayers on the show, we get artists on the show. They are passionate about Assassin's Creed, but show it in a different way. It's really cool that there are all these creative people in the same space, and we get to be privileged enough to speak to them each week. And yeah, I just think it's a really wholesome community and a great set of people around the world. And I love what the community has given me personally, but also the perspective it's given me. You know, I just want to like give people an opportunity to share their voice and be heard on our platform. And yeah, I guess that's why I love Assassin's Creed. And the big thing for me is the community. So Assassin's Creed, it's done some great things for me, and I imagine you guys at home have got your own perspective on it and why you love Assassin's Creed, and we'd love to hear them in the comments. So yeah, a lot of different things for me, James.
I think there's no other, like, I could be wrong, but I don't think there's any other game series out there that gives this much love and means so much to so many different people. It's going to sound like a plug again, but I don't mean for it to be. But in my latest video, I was like, there's Assassin's Creed I don't think it will ever die, because a dead franchise doesn't spark this much conversation. Like, a dead franchise doesn't have millions of followers who play the games constantly, who have podcasts every week or whatever. They don't have these amazing communities. So I don't think it will die, but you can clearly see that people have this love and this unique perspective when it comes to why they love the series, what the series means to them, and I think that's what makes it so special. Is that it's not necessarily the gameplay mechanics or the characters or the settings or the music. There's it's just what it does to you and what it brings out in you when you play it, I guess.
That's it. And there are no wrong answers to this. People love different aspects of Assassin's Creed. And that's the great thing about it. And even though I said before, they've catered to so many audiences, they all love a different angle on it. So for some, it's the history. For some, it's the Isu, modern day, whatever it is. Hopefully, Assassin's Creed can continue to deliver on what we love. And I wanted to get into next, James, our favourite couples in Assassin's Creed. Of course, Valentine's Day coming up. Who would you say is the strongest couple in Assassin's Creed?
Okay, so I'm going to give you my honest answer first. And it's at the moment I read favorite couples, and I know this is our Valentine's Day special, but for me, the best couple and my favorite couple is Leonardo and Ezio. They're not a couple, but that is my favorite. That is my favorite.
Yeah.
Couple.
Yeah, and you know what? I think there's a corner of the internet that fully agrees with you. I know Tumblr would be all over this.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure there's many.
There's definitely some fan fiction out there about that.
Yeah.
Archive of Our Own, I think it's called, the website with the fanfic. I'm sure they're all over this. But yeah,
I also pointed out. So this is another. I pointed this out in a video on TikTok months ago. Is that people complain that Norway can kiss a woman in shadows or whatever? Like, there's literal thousands, if not millions, of people that really want Ezio and Leonardo to get together.
Yeah,
so I don't think we can. Let's not just pretend that this is a whole new thing for Assassin's Creed. It's been around for a while now.
Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying.
But I quite like Ezio and Claudia's relationship. I think they're a great duo.
So Claudia is in his sister, as in like the relationship between.
No.
Is it?
No. Or is it Sophia?
James.
Did I just make a faux pas?
That's okay. Maybe you meant like the brother-sister relationship and the dynamic they have. I think you meant Sophia from Assassin's Creed Revelations, maybe?
No,
you're thinking of
it's Claudia.
Christina from Assassin's
Christina.
Creed.
There you go.
I see.
You know the one that's you can take my children, I have the instrument to make more.
Okay, so that is Caterina Sforza.
Okay. We'll get there eventually.
Yeah, we've gone round all the significant women in Ezio's life.
I'd just like to point out names are not my strongest point. I can give you lines. But names are not my forte.
That's okay. You were not saying that Ezio was in an incestuous relationship with his sister.
No, I wasn't. I wasn't insinuating.
You've done it now. It's going in the title. So we're moving on. Christina, you like the relationship between Ezio and Christina. I would actually say that a lot of people find that relationship quite problematic. I'm not sure if you're aware of this. First of all, do you like the banter dynamic between them? He's been like quite cheeky, maybe.
Yeah,
the way he's flirting with her. Now
that's kind of
very you.
That's very me.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I would say that in the last 10 years, the relationship between Christina and Ezio has not aged well on the internet, because if you remember right, Christina is first introduced to Ezio as like one of these beautiful women that he sees with his brother. He then stalks her, like thinks, oh, I'm going to follow her and see where she's going. So this is problematic. And this isn't like me coming up with ideas. Like this is things I've read online. Ezio stalks her, stops her from, I don't know if I can say the word, Bapist. Can't say the word. Like from SA happening. And then... Yeah, because I think it's like Vieri de Pazzi or someone is like being very like overly like, I don't know what the wording is. I don't want to get us in trouble, but yeah, I think it's on the verge of SA happening, and Ezio prevents this, and then leads into him having like a relationship with her, and people often say like, well, she was just about to go through SA and now she's sleeping with him. And like a lot of people have like this problematic outlook on this relationship. And I've seen it quite a lot on the internet over the last few years. I wonder if this is maybe like a more modern perspective on that. So I don't know. I think the general consensus to that one is it's not a great portrayal of a relationship in Assassin's Creed. So interesting. Maybe there's two different...
No, it's not. We've just had an entire, but it's not Claudia, it's Katerina.
Go on. So Christina's the one who I'm thinking of. Katerina is the one.
Katerina, she's the one that he meets in.
Forley. Yeah, I think we're thinking of different people, but yeah, Katerina is that the relationship you think is like the good one?
Yeah, right. So when I'm saying that that's what I'm like, I don't mean like it. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I get you. I get what you mean. So you like the relationship with Katerina Sforza, where he rescues her from the water, and he's like charming with her, and she's got a husband as well, and
but then
it's like flirty banter with her. Katerina.
I just think they work really well together, and I think she's like the female version of Ezio.
Right, I get what you're saying. And like the start of Assassin's Creed Brotherhood as well, there's the notorious bath scene as well. Yeah. I think that's quite memorable for Ezio and his ladies. I think a lot of people think on that one because obviously
definitely memorable for me too.
Yeah, I mean, he wakes up and there's the attack on Monteriggioni as well. So yeah, two different relationships for Ezio there. It's funny that we mention Ezio because he's probably had the most like relationship with different women out of all the games. The womanizer.
Because I was trying to work out who I was talking about. All I put in was Ezio meets women. Women that Ezio's met. And there's a very, very long list.
Mm-hmm.
So
this is the other thing with Ezio. Going back to the previous relationship we mentioned with Christina, Ezio also pretends to be Christina's husband 10 years after she's married, and this is when he goes back, and it's something like he sends a letter to meet her in an alleyway with his hood up, and then kisses her even though she's married, and she's not happy at all because he left her. And like obviously after the thing with his parents, he left and she never heard what happened to him. So she was left thinking he was dead. She moved on with her life. So there's that angle as well. And I wanted to bring up one which is a modern day one. This is Rebecca Crane and Sean Hastings, who actually get married in Assassin's Creed lore. I was wondering what you think of them two.
I really like Sean and Rebecca.
Mm-hmm.
Sean's probably one of my favorite characters. But I'm currently playing through Valhalla as female Eivor, and I can't get over how much they changed Sean and Rebecca.
Yeah, they really did.
They really did. And it was it Unity that did the change? Because it's not that late.
Or was it Syndicate? I think they did Sean dirty in cutscenes. In Syndicate, and it's like, wow, his character model's totally different. I mean, obviously it's still Danny Wallace, is
Yeah,
it?
Danny
Voice actor?
Hastings. Yeah,
Yeah, Sean Hastings is voiced by Danny Wallace, isn't he, in Assassin's Creed? And he's
yeah.
still returning. But yeah, the interesting thing with the off-screen marriage between Rebecca and Sean is that initially a lot of people saw Rebecca as like an LGBT plus icon and
I can see why.
saw her in that light. So a lot of people thought, oh, it's a bit strange that they're married. Like I never saw her like that. So I think because we've not really had a lot of screen time between Sean and Rebecca in like a relationship sense, they've always just been like she's telling him to shut up and stuff. But maybe it blossomed off screen. Maybe.
Maybe.
So who knows?
But I think they're a really good. They're definitely a really good couple for sure.
They worked in the coffee shop together in Black Flag, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, at Abstergo, they had the dyed hair, so maybe they got to know each other a bit better there. And I think after the death of Desmond, I think Sean changed a lot. You hear it in the audio files, but yeah, I think they're probably up there with one of my favorite Assassin's Creed couples as well. To be fair,
yeah,
even though you barely see them.
Yeah, he changed a lot after Desmond's death. So much so that his entire facial model changed.
Yeah.
But I don't think we don't see them a lot, but we definitely hear them a lot. We definitely hear them. They're probably they're the most consistent modern day characters.
Yeah.
Out of all, like we talk about Desmond and his story and his growth over the first few games. But what about Sean and Rebecca's growth? They've changed so much. Like Sean used to be a sniveling little pain in the, and he's a great character now.
Yeah. I like Sean. He just represents Britain so well, and that sort of sarcastic edge.
Yeah.
A lot of us have that sarcastic, witty edge to us in Britain, and I don't know. It's something that you don't really find everywhere in the world, but in Britain there is like a level of like sass, and Sean brings that.
Yeah. Okay.
So definitely up there with one of my favourite couples. And it's interesting, James, a lot of people would have said Arno and Elise for this question. They would have said, who's your favourite couple? I think a lot of people like them, even though...
Surely not.
I would say there's a bit of a problematic dynamic to that. I mean, there are a lot of like virtual photographers out there and screenshots, fanfics for their like shipping. I don't know what the collective term for Elise and Arno is. There's normally like a shipping name. I don't know what it is, but I'm sure there are people out there people really like. Yeah, because he was.
Do you think it's because? Do you think it's because the game looks good? So when they take pictures,
right?
This is what they look at, because I think it's. I would put this as one of the worst.
Would you?
Yeah, definitely. Like I hide no secret that I think Arno is a massive crybaby.
Yeah.
But without her, he potentially could be a great assassin.
Right.
But because she's around, it just changes his whole perspective and what he's looking at. I think it's it's very much a I don't want to say codependency, but there's definitely it's definitely toxic and unhealthy. I wouldn't have them. I'd have them probably as my least favorite if I could pick one.
I wonder what you guys think watching this. What do you think about Elise and Arno's relationship? It's the fact that he was brought up basically as like her step brother.
Yeah,
so it's that sort of like weird relationship there. They grew up in the same house, her dad was his ward, so I don't know. I just look outside, man. There's plenty more fish in the sea.
Yeah.
He was in love with her, and it's interesting. People always see them in Unity, but apparently in the Assassin's Creed Unity novel, there are two different versions. There's a UK version and a US version. Apparently, in this, which Arno reads, it's sort of done in like the sense of Elise wrote a diary and Arno is reading the diary. He reads Elise's diary and see that she had an affair with a ship captain who she met on her travels while separated from Arno. And apparently he also had affairs, but it doesn't go into it in detail. But she actually apparently had an affair whilst sort of on the cards with Arno at the same time with a man called Byron Jackson. But this isn't in the UK version. Maybe they thought we couldn't handle it.
Maybe not.
But you never think of that when you're playing Unity. You just think, oh, they're in love. They're on a hot air balloon in the sky doing whatever.
I see. This is going back to why we love the series quickly. This is why I love the series. I play Unity and I don't think they're in love.
Right, okay.
I think this is a relationship born out of necessity. This is just two people that happen to spend an unhealthy amount of time with each other.
I see, yeah.
And have just come to like each other. They don't love each other. They're just used to having each other around.
That's interesting, James, because some people would see them as like the Romeo and Juliet of Assassin's Creed. Do you see where I'm coming from?
Yeah, just no. There's some things I can get over people liking Black Flag. I can get over some people hating AC2. But the Elsie and Arno are the best Assassin's Creed. Elise, sorry. I just no. Just no. Just not even. No. I was literally thinking about it. I would have Evie and Greenie.
Yeah.
As a better couple.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I actually don't mind that, to be fair. I don't mind that. I like where Jacob's just sort of like rolling his eyes and making comments about it the whole time. It's so funny.
And I think that's really good because that's like that's definitely a big brother thing to do.
Yeah, 100%. That's an interesting one to bring up, actually. And Jacob, we're not sure because on Tumblr they announced that he is an LGBT, so probably bisexual would be the title. But there's the kiss with Roth as well, and some people think he's trying to replace his mother when he builds a relationship with the female Templar. I can't think of her name right now, the older Templar lady. Some people say that Jacob's relationships in the game are just trying to replace what he doesn't have. So Roth would be like a brother because he hasn't got one. The female Templar would be like the mother he hasn't got. Even Roth could be like the dad he lost. And he's just sort of trying to be like replacing all the people in his life who he doesn't have anymore. But yeah, I think there's different interpretations of that one. So I'll move past that one. And what do you feel about Edward and Caroline in Assassin's Creed Black Flag as a relationship? Because I'd say Ezio's greed might have taken over, become more powerful than his love for Caroline, because he could have gone back a lot sooner than what he did, but he loves the thrill of the adventure and the loot.
Just selfish, isn't he?
And I feel like it's quite selfish in a way, and he is a selfish character, but he's married to this lovely lady who's waiting for him back home, and he could have gone back sooner. So I think that's quite a problematic relationship, even though it's at the core of Assassin's Creed Black Flag, the reason he went into privateering. I love the cut scenes where you see his like drunken antics, and she's so supportive of him. And yeah, I think that's a tough one because he realizes on reflection, once she's obviously passed away, that he should have been a better man and he should have been better for his family.
I honestly think that he is incredibly greedy, is incredibly selfish, to the point where literally he doesn't realize what he's done until literally nobody else is around him.
He does damage.
All of his friends are dead. Everyone he's ever loved, anyone he's ever cared about, are all gone. Well, apart from his kids, but they're all gone. There's no one around him, and for what? In this search of glory and greed. Yeah.
I find it quite funny that we've taken this Valentine's Day special to such a dark place.
I said at the beginning I was going to be very down today.
R.I.P. everyone in Edward's life. So we'll move on from that. I mean, it's interesting though, because in the original teaser from Assassin's Creed Black Flag, Edward's with all these women and it's shown him to be like a womanizer. But then the game comes out and he's got this like one love back home. And people even think that off screen Edward might have been cheating. Like he was that selfish. What do you think about that, James? Maybe in the remaster we'll see that. Would he do that?
I think that was more of a thing about men of the time.
Okay.
Is that because there's a guy that Edward meets at the beginning of Black Flag. I can't remember his name, but he was hung for being a pirate.
Stede Bonnet.
But yeah, so he left his very comfortable life, his wife and came to be a pirate. Most men would have left their wives to look after the children, to keep hold of the estate or whatever it might be. And they would go on a ship, go raid, be a pirate or whatever. And they would end up sleeping with massive amounts of women.
No
so doubt. I think the thing is, it more shows that this is what he does, but there is someone there in the background that he loves. Yeah. Ironically, because I can guarantee if I said to Nicola, "Oh, I've been cheating with about 60 different women, but I still love you. Don't worry, I'm coming back to you." I don't think I'd be coming back to anything. So it is very weird, but
yeah,
people still love Edward.
I do wonder because people do ship Edward and Mary. They ship Edward and Bonnie. So there's a lot of this out there, on the internet. So I wonder, but yeah, maybe that's problematic because maybe Edward gives the impression that he's open. Get him on Love Island.
Maybe this is a pillar of Assassin's Creed. It's not social stealth. It's not parkour. It's not the Templars or the Tenants or Isu. It's seriously damaged individuals that don't know how to get on with life.
Yeah.
So maybe that's a new pillar that we've got.
Maybe that's a really good take on it because all the assassins are damaged somehow, and I guess the opposite of Edward, really. So, well, if you think about like that, the way Edward was so greedy and everything, you've got Altair, who was a one-woman guy after AC1, can I just say, because before that he was in love with a woman who was basically a human piece of Eden, fell in love with her, but she sadly died. But then he met Maria, so he was like a one woman at a time kind of guy. And I like the relationship with Altair and Maria. It's expanded in a better way in Revelations. I think he did really love her, and it's really sad when she's no longer with him.
Yeah, I actually think that is probably an underrated relationship, because I have a feeling that most people who play Assassin's Creed probably, especially now, haven't played those games, so they wouldn't understand it as much.
That's true. Like a newer audience.
But do you remember when he takes that helmet off and he's like shocked about her and
like, what sorcery is this?
What sorcery is this? And it's, I don't know, it's I almost imagine that when he looked at her for the first time, he was like just
Like a
mesmerized by her.
female crusader. You've probably
Yeah,
never seen one before. And
just
she
never
turns
seen
out to be
anything at the
great.
time.
I like her, I think she's really supportive of him and his decisions, and it's sort of similar to like how Ezio becomes with Sophia in Revelations, like an
Yeah,
older man being supported, and it's nice. It's nice to see that. And whilst we're on the topic of Altair, I have to mention Altair and Malik because this is another fan favorite. It's heavily shipped. So Malik is one of the bureau leaders in Assassin's Creed
yeah.
1, and they have like a great banter between them. There is so much fanfic getting these two together. It is ridiculous. Like I see it on TikTok, I see it on Twitter. People really want this to happen. I think with the time, like it was probably illegal at the time, but
Oh yeah,
I
most
know
definitely would have been.
in terms of like what would you call it, like a fan fiction, like people love to ship this one, so it's an honourable mention on our part. And I like the relationship between Altair and Malik, the banter between them, and it goes from like hostile to friends. I think it's really nice, but people obviously want them to take that step further.
Before we continue, I need to know what corners of the internet you're on because these fan fictions are. You've got Altair and Malik, you've got Ezio and Leonardo. What sort of fan fiction are you stumbling across here?
If I'm ever on Tumblr, if I'm ever, I'm looking for new writers for the ones that came before at the minute. So I'm on that website I mentioned before, that archive of our own, dangerous place. Some very
just stay away.
yeah. You've got to be prepared for that one. I don't think I can even tell you what gets written on that platform. But yeah, guys, be careful when browsing the internet because things exist out there that would probably make you think twice. So I'm trying to think of any like really nice, healthy couple relationships in Assassin's Creed 3.
I don't think there is one.
Connor's relationship in AC3 happens in a comic book. It's written as Connor's wife. So you know nothing about that. I think it was a blonde woman. We know nothing about that. Eivor, you make the decisions for. Randvi and Eivor. Perhaps if that was canon, I don't know if it was. It decides how to play it.
It wouldn't be canon because Eivor canonically wouldn't do that to Sigurd. So
fair enough. Yeah. That's a good point. Point.
I genuinely don't think there is a healthy couple in the entirety of Assassin's Creed. There isn't one.
Right, I'm thinking Aya and Bayek, would they do split?
It's not healthy.
No, and I guess that's like trauma bonding, especially after they lose the little one. It's just really difficult, isn't it? What else can we think of? Odyssey, what do we have there? You've got potential love interests across the map. None of them are canon, really, though, are they?
No, not really.
Apart from Cassandra hooking up with Darius's son and creating the bloodline that leads to who is it?
Yeah, but do we really see much of that relationship?
Cassandra's bloodline leads to Aya's bloodline as well, doesn't it? She's like an ancestor. But I don't think you really see it.
No, so I genuinely don't think there is a healthy relationship out there. And I think that is a great thing to end this portion on because I don't think we as a community have ever thought about the relationships that each character has with their partner. Mm-hmm. We just think, oh, Ezio's a great character, Edward's a great character, but deep down, every single character relationship wise is traumatized, problematic, borderline toxic. It's and it would explain potentially why we like them so much, is especially for characters like Edward, for instance. I can almost guarantee that there's a lot of people out there that would look at Edward and go, I can fix him. It's okay. I can fix him. You know what I mean? So we constantly want to make them better. So
that's funny.
I think I think this is why I think that's why he gets a pull for sure.
Yeah. And another honourable mention before we move on, I haven't said it, Shay and Haytham. There's fanfic about that as well. And I read
Oh
one the
my
other
god,
day.
you need to get off these websites. You need to stay away.
It's out there.
No, you need to leave them alone. Basically, if you're looking for a writer on these websites, just don't. Just skip them, go somewhere else.
We need new writers, and they're very hard to find at this time. If you guys are interested in writing for the ones that came before, please write to us, and we will go from there, as long as it's tasteful.
I was going to say, you can send your fanfic entries to Cole69 on X.
96.
Oh my god, I'm just mixing numbers and names up today. This is.
Did you say 69?
I did, yeah.
We're gonna have to move on. This is getting too raunchy. This Valentine's Day episode. I'll tell you what, before the stream, guys, I was saying tonight I've got Ezio, the red light. I was like, I would have liked pink. It's a bit too Amsterdam, but yeah, we're sort of slipping into uncharted territory with the podcast. Right, I will end this section, James, just by saying, would you like to see a husband and wife assassin team?
No, I don't. Okay. I don't think so. I think it. On a joke side, I think it would be too much of a. Oh, you didn't assassinate them properly. That's not how I would have done it. You didn't do that right. Is your hidden blade clean? Have you cleaned it? Is it? But no, I think we need to steer away from that. I think I want a lone wolf, because I think that potentially with a husband and wife, for instance, with Bayek and Aya, for instance, what if, let's say, Aya was kidnapped?
Yeah.
They've kind of got a hold over Bayek. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, do this or she's gone. You know, like
manipulating people to kill other people because you've kidnapped their partner or something.
Yeah,
cool. That's something new. And I've written in my notes, I would like to see like a dad and lad assassin combo. So you've got like the sort of like you see in the cutscenes, you know, with like Altair and Darim is like the younger assassin and the dad. I like that idea of like a father and son running around, or even like a dad and daughter teaching his daughter the ways to be assassin. I think that'd be really nice to have that like parent bond, because like you mentioned, we deal with a lot of damaged individuals. It would be nice to have a relationship with a parent in one of these games.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So I think that needs to happen, really. There's too many dead parents in Assassin's Creed.
Like too many dead parents, too many traumatized people.
Yeah.
Let's just not have a normal protagonist next. Yeah, they've got a good job, a good home, they've got people that love them, a steady income.
That'd be good. So I want to move on to the next section now, James, and we've been talking about things we love about Assassin's Creed, and one thing I forgot to mention was I love the soundtracks for Assassin's Creed, and I wanted to know if you could maybe pull up your Spotify or whatever you listen to songs on. What are your top like 5 or top 3 Assassin's Creed playlist songs?
I'm going to be really honest. I don't actually listen to any of the playlists outside of the games.
Oh, really?
Not really.
Okay.
But I do have a favorite song, and it's fairly basic. I think I spoke about it numerous times. It's Ezio's Family. It's my favorite. It's just my favorite song. But there's so many that.
I mean, these soundtracks are incredible.
Yeah, I think the one from like playing through Mirage, the soundtrack for Mirage is fantastic. I love that as well, and that section where Basim's dad just walks off into the sunset.
Yeah.
It's not even because there's nothing being said in that moment
Hmm.
between the two of them. It is the music that emotionally pulls at you, and that music at that time is just sensational. I love Mirage's soundtrack.
That's a really cool answer, and I know they're doing a lot of work, like to do like instrumental versions, and
Yeah,
a lot of people are covering it, which I love covers of music. Seeing someone else's take on it, I think that's really cool. Is it called Ishak's theme or something like that? E-
I'm
Along
not
the
sure.
line,
My
I think
Spotify's
it's
taken a
something like
long
that.
time to load up, but
It's something along them lines. One thing I think, James, which is underrated with Assassin's Creed music is the trailer music, and I don't think a lot of people really think about that as Assassin's Creed music, but it is. Like I've got a playlist of like all these different ones. So like Personal Jesus by Depeche Mode from the Syndicate trailer. This is My World by Esterly and Austin Jenkels.
oh
The
wow,
Mirage song by One Republic. I love all these like songs connected to Assassin's Creed where they're promoting Assassin's Creed. But my number one like connected to Assassin's Creed song, whether it be like a trailer or promotion, was the original song by Aurora, Hunting Shadows. I think this is
yeah,
incredible. Are you onto this one? I think it's really great. It was used for the 15th anniversary of Assassin's Creed, and yeah, it had all the assassins like live action, like jumping
yeah,
off from the leap of faith, and the music. Like I love this song. I don't know if we can play it for copyright reasons, but you guys in the comments have a little listen to that one. I think it's phenomenal. But if I had to like list off my top Assassin's Creed songs, I am obsessed with the Assassin's Creed movie soundtrack by Jed Kurzel. I think it's just such a vibe, like building up, and even like the
yeah,
slower songs. So these are great. I love the final song called "You're Not Alone," where he's in the Animus and he achieves full synchronization. He's looking around the rooms. He sees like with the Animus and all the assassins that have like come before him. He sees his mom, he sees his dad, he sees Arno Dorian, he sees all these people. He feels connected to assassins in that moment. And when I listen to the
yeah,
song, I feel connected to Assassin's Creed. I feel connected to the community. I feel connected to all the assassins. That for me is my like bridge. I love that song. It gives me goosebumps every time. It's amazing. So that one hits for me. Ezio's Family, like you mentioned, incredible. I think there are a lot of like lesser known ones as well, which are really cool as well. And this is why I love the Assassin's Creed Symphony Orchestra. So when they were playing, the Brotherhood soundtrack, the 82 soundtrack, but I think the Revelations theme is my favorite just because of how like haunting it is and it
yeah,
sticks with you. I think she's got a lovely voice. So really cool. I could pick from any of the soundtracks. I like how Unity, the main song, incorporates the Ezio's Family theme and then takes it in a different direction. I like Family by Austin Wintory. Honestly, I could do
yeah,
this all day. I think Assassin's Creed 3 song is incredible, the main theme. I think it's a really cool twist on it. A lot of people like the Fight Club song. I think that's like a song used on TikTok quite a lot. Tour of
That's-
Venice is a good one. City of Rome. There's tons of them. I'm sure you guys have got your own personal favourites, so you'll have to let us know in the comments what's your favourite songs from the soundtracks or like connected to Assassin's Creed. I was wondering, have you managed to think of any like soundtrack songs you like, James, other than the Mirage one?
so I'm going through. I like the One Republic
Yeah, yeah.
soundtrack.
That's
I
fun.
use that quite a lot. It's such a good one. Um, but I also want to say that I didn't realize that Jesper Kid did the music for AC1.
Yes, AC1, yeah, and that
I
is a
thought
great
he
soundtrack as well.
I
That's like
thought he I thought he started with AC2. I didn't
right,
realize that
yeah,
he'd
yeah.
done the music for one.
I like the
That's
running away song. You know, when you assassinate a target, it's like do
yeah,
do 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 do
yeah, yeah,
do. Yeah, yeah. He's like running away. Gonna go like 100 miles an hour. The whole city's after me. I think
yeah.
that's a great soundtrack. There's some. I like Apple Chamber. That's a really great song by Jesper Kidd. I've got another one here which I like. I like The Ends of the Earth by Brian Tyler in the Black Flag soundtrack. I like the Shanties. There are so many great songs connected to Assassin's Creed.
You can keep your shanties. Did you know that I've just seen on Spotify that where's it gone? That Ezio's Family has been listened to 83 million times.
Wow. Can I just say we played it at my wedding?
Oh, did you?
A string quartet played it
Oh, mate. Oh, my God.
which was incredible, by the way. And it was like as we signed the registrar, the registry, whatever you call it, writing that, basically signing a bit of paper to say we are officially married. And then as we left the big manor house, it started playing in the background, and we'd already left at this point. And Ash was like, "Cole, you need to go back in and listen." And I could hear Ezio's Family playing on the string quartet. And it was incredible. It was absolutely incredible because they'd learnt that song for me. They'd never played it before. They will learn one song for each couple, plus like 50 other songs you request. So like we had the Lord of the Rings playing, we had other great songs as well. We had tons of stuff throughout the night. We had like Harry Potter was played as well. It was quite a Harry Potter themed wedding, but yeah, to get Ezio's Family playing, it just shows the care, and that's something Ash did for me, and that's what true love is. She did that for me.
Definitely. There you go.
Sent them the notes and everything. Yeah, it's nice. So, moving on, James, from our love of Assassin's Creed, and obviously not everyone's happy with Assassin's Creed right now. What can Ubisoft do in this moment to win fans back?
Sorry.
It's
I don't actually know. I genuinely don't, and
I guess it's a difficult question.
That's the worrying thing for me. I genuinely don't know what they could do to win fans back, because as we've spoken about, and I spoke last week, that Black Flag has to be, if it's real and it's released, it has to be perfect. If it's not perfect, they're going to get ridiculed for it. Even if it is perfect, they're going to get ridiculed for it anyway, because they're going to be moaned that it's not a true, faithful remaster. There's going to be so many. The problem is people will hate Ubisoft because it's Ubisoft. It doesn't matter what they. Yeah. I think the fans who like the series, again, they're so broad and so different that not everybody knows what everybody wants. That's really difficult. That I could want one thing and you could want. I want a linear story but open world game. I don't mind the RPG era. So what I want and what I think that they should do to keep me interested would be completely different to what potentially you could want. As you want AC, OG AC to come back, or it's really difficult. So I don't actually know what they could do to win fans back. The people who play Assassin's Creed and love the series will always play Assassin's Creed. Those fans aren't going anywhere. But yeah, I'm not too sure on that one.
Yeah, I think that's a fair perspective, James, because it is a very difficult question. Everyone's got a different answer for it. Maybe the trial and error that they're sort of doing at the minute, maybe they'll strike gold one of these times and we'll find what people really want. But watching a lot of YouTube videos on this and what people really want, and everyone wants different things, like you mentioned. It is difficult. Every time we get fans on, we like to ask them this question, and we sort of go round and round, and sometimes we have similar themes, but other times we have completely different things. And for me, I want Assassin's Creed to go in a different direction, have more of like a hunting element, especially go into like, let's say, a Mayan setting, or like another sort of like indigenous tribe. What's the one Aztec?
Aztecs, yeah.
Like I've been playing Far Cry Primal today. I love the idea of throwing meat to get animals to attack. I've mentioned this on previous episodes. Using the world around you for stealth. I think crafting stealth tools should be good. I mentioned this on the episode with Andy Reload. sticking like a needle in a frog to get poison and then creating your own blow dart using the world around you. I think that would be great for Assassin's Creed. I think using your environment, using meat to get animals to attack, things like that, very Far Cry elements, incorporate that into the brand. I think that would work so well. And perhaps in the Aztec game, they will do that and use the world around you. And like the film I like, Apocalypto, I know I've mentioned it before, but yeah, I think it'd be really cool to see that. And to win fans back, remasters are a good start. So if there's a Black Flag remaster and it hits, if there's an AC1 remaster and that hits, this will bring nostalgic energy back. At AC2, maybe that'll get a remaster. Maybe they'll just do all the games remastered and then eventually bring out like a remastered edition of all the games, or maybe all the main games, or I don't know, maybe every like anniversary they bring out, like for each game they bring out like new remasters. I don't know. It looks like that's the future anyhow. And the thing that's generating the most positive hype is Black Flag right now. So maybe. Yeah. But yeah, tricky one.
Yeah. Especially with Black Flag, it's like some people are excited because it's Black Flag, but also those same people are also very aware that potentially current Ubisoft can't do a remake any justice.
Yeah.
So it's a really tough position, and I've always wondered why they picked Black Flag, because they're damned if they do and they're damned if they don't. It's a really tough one.
I hear you. Yeah, that's an interesting one. I wonder if it's because it's like highly anticipated. It is like a loved game by a lot of people, not yourself, but a lot of people do.
But surely from a business point of view, that your fan base are currently viewing you through a magnifying glass now and scrutinizing every precise move that you make, and they're looking at you and going, right, they can't make this game the same way that they made it back in 2013, 14.
Yeah, around there, wasn't it? 13.
They're not the same company, so why would you pick that game that is so loved, that is going to garnish you the most hate if it's not done right? You could have easily gone AC1. I can do this. Yes, we're going to get a little bit of hate if it's not done properly, but overall, the risk and return is smaller and the return is so much bigger with that one if it's done right. Whereas I think it's flipped with Black Flag, is that the risk is so big and the return is so very little that it makes no sense why to do it. It's almost as if you're pulling in. It's like you want the focus of hate in your way. But I've literally, as I'm talking, something just popped into my head. How cool would it be if we're all talking about a Black Flag remake? Like, this is what's going to happen. This is the game that's going to change Ubisoft. How can they do this? And let's say at State of Play on Thursday, there's a trailer, but it's not Black Flag, it's AC1. So we're all talking about Black Flag and we're all like, this. And in actual fact, it's a game that we didn't even think about getting a remake. That, I think, would be absolutely... I think that would be a great move.
That would be like incredible level marketing strategy. Like all the leaks have been fake, and actually they're going to go run in order. Right, here's the AC1 remaster. Here's the AC2 remaster. Whatever.
What if the leaks? What if the leaks are real, but they've decided, right? You tried to derail this remake. Why don't we flip this on the head? Why don't we release this one instead?
Yeah.
And make Black Flag the next one.
Mm-hmm. This is interesting. I wonder, with the Black Flag remake, I feel like because they're doing that one first, and that's actually one of the more recent games in terms of like when you think it started in 2007 and that game came out 2013, 14, depending on which platform you're on, then you've got to think they must have a story to tell, or they must have like enhanced graphics with the new platforms. And there's rumors going around that they're starting to leak out information about the PlayStation 6, and that is going to be a beast of a platform. That's going to have an incredible engine, graphics card. It's going to be like a PC, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know what the price will be saying, but apparently Sony have started like buying the chips already. It's because they're expecting like a shortage so that they can produce this many. So exciting to know that even better graphics are coming. If you think graphics are good now, give it a few more years. They're only going to get better. It's so exciting.
I don't think graphics have got that much better in the last like 6-7 years. I think we're
okay.
I will say that Shadows is the best looking Assassin's Creed game we've ever had.
Mm-hmm.
But graphically, I don't think we've had much.
Oh,
like
interesting.
Delete, like I think it looks better than Origins. But if you were to put them side by side, I don't think realistically you'd be like there's a tell, but if you were to play each game separately, I don't think you'd really notice much of a. Because when I play Origins, I look at it and I go, "Oh, it looks stunning. It looks great." But I say the same about Shadows, and you get people now talking about Red Dead Redemption 2, and that came out in 2018, and supposedly that is the benchmark for graphics. I don't think they've changed much in that time.
Oh, interesting. I mean, I've been playing a lot of Origins recently, and to me, it is like visually very impressive. But I'm playing on like a high-powered PC. I'm playing to look at the animals in photo mode, like I mentioned at the start, and yeah, Egypt blows me away. But yeah, I can see what you're saying in terms of Assassin's Creed. It's the same engine and everything, and this does make me excited for the future. Like I wonder what sort of engine they're going to be using for the games going forward, what sort of things they're going to be doing in Vantage Studios to connect all the assets. They don't have to create assets from scratch anymore. They can share things internally. So we'll see. I imagine when a trailer comes out for Hexa or Black Flag, we'll understand now what the new benchmark of graphics is for Assassin's Creed. Because yeah, I think it's interesting, and maybe that is what can pull people back, the nostalgia. And I know AC Johnny's mentioned this quite a bit. Nostalgia is what brings people back to Assassin's Creed time and time again. And I'm going to move us on to our final topic of the night, James, because we've just hit the 3-hour benchmark for this Valentine's Day special. Wow. So pitching an Assassin's Creed game, and this one's not by me, not by James. This is by Reddit user Man, and this is pitching an Assassin's Creed remake or sequel to Assassin's Creed Rogue. So I'm going to read what they've put in their post, or at least like the highlights of it for me. So the Reddit user says that they found the AC Rogue storyline's ending to be very anticlimactic. They want a fully fleshed out Rogue with the development time it needs. Let's have a story long enough to see Shay's proper defection to the Templars. So perhaps there could be like missing segments that we didn't see in Rogue because it was quite short. This would work well as a remaster, I think, with like added ending. So this remake would fix all the mistakes which happened with the development of Rogue and would give us a proper arc. Stuff like how Shay slowly sees the wrongdoings of the assassins before defection. The ruffian gangs in New York would be one example, but instead of how he saw just the fall of Lisbon and decided the assassins were bad, maybe there could be more that went on behind the scenes. Also, after his defection, we could see Shay sometimes question the Templars as well, and even have more of a leadership role opposing Haytham. Or instead of this, Haytham sees the potential of Shay and becomes a mentor to Shay, eventually taking over later. We could see Christopher Gist becoming Shay's Adewale and following Shay wherever he goes. So this is referencing the relationship between Edward and Ade, where there's like a quartermaster relationship there, and you see it somewhat in Rogue, but it would be cool if he could have like someone to turn to. It says, eventually Shay would become the Grand Master of the Colonial Rite, post Connor killing Haytham. We could even have a DLC where Arno from Unity travels to find his father's killer and eventually finds out Shay was behind everything. And then Arno would travel to America, collaborate with Connor and Evelyn, and all three would hunt Shay. And we would have a DLC where we play as all four characters. Now, this isn't an original idea, to be fair, guys. This has been something that's been floated for the last, I want to say, maybe 10 years, but really cool. I've always liked the idea, and it actually links up well with our guests next week, who I'll come on to at the end. But James, how do you feel about this? Do you think Rogue could do it a remaster, incorporating a bit more elements of Shay's future and things that were missed? Would it benefit?
I do think it would benefit from a remake, because it's the last old gen Assassin's Creed. Mm-hmm. So it was running on the same engine as Black Flag. Obviously, then Unity is Unity's the first new gen Assassin's Creed. Both released on the same day, caused massive issues. So potentially it could work. I do think I would like to see Arno kill Shay. I really would.
Gotcha.
But we got to think, Arno in the beginning of Unity is how old?
Arno in the beginning of Unity, he's a boy, isn't he? Like a
so he's
a boy or whatever.
I can't say, maybe a little bit older than 7, maybe.
Okay, yeah.
Shay would be what, in his 30s? 30s maybe.
Yeah.
So by the time that Arno's old enough to go against a Templar Grandmaster, he would have to be in his 30s as well.
Right.
Which means that Shay would then be in his 50s, close to his 60s.
Yeah. Which would probably be a good age at the time.
Yeah, it would potentially be a cakewalk for Arno.
Yeah, yeah.
I personally think it would diminish both characters to a point, but I would like to see it, but I'm not. I don't think it.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. It would diminish the characters, but I actually put a flip on this one. I actually think if Shay was to become Grand Master of the Colonial Rite, he would actually be an ethical Templar, and Connor being like the leader of the assassins, I imagine, in that time, they could have like a working relationship. And I think they could get on without needing to kill anyone. They could probably live in a bit of peace. Because I think Shay has seen the corruption of the assassins and the Templars. So he could probably be the person you could barter some kind of peace deal with. I think that would be an interesting perspective.
Yeah, that's a good one, actually. I didn't think about that.
He could stop Arno from killing Shay because it would disrupt the peace in the land.
Yeah.
So that's how I see it. I think Shay gets to a point where he doesn't want to fight anymore. I know from the book that he has a grandson who's also a Templar, Cudgel Cormac. He's probably passing on like ethical Templar ideology. And, you know, he sees Haytham as like a great leader and everything. Haytham had his flaws, but at the end of the day, like ideology was there. It was very strong for Haytham, but I think Shay's got a unique position where he might not want to fight anymore. So I think he could somehow broker a peace deal. But yeah, I think it's an interesting writing. It's something we've seen, again, I mentioned fan fiction, but there has been like a really cool fan art of this by, I think of an artist, Sunset Again, who did a short comic book on this topic. And also Syncbreaker has recently released a project on this, which we'll be getting into next week as they're our guests. So very excited for that one. And any closing things you want to comment on, James, from today's episode? Anything before we wrap up?
No, I'm not really. It was a good episode. We've 3 hours and 10 minutes chatting.
That's
it's been really good.
Yeah, late one.
But I feel like we do this all the time.
Oh yeah, we always go over what we expected, but we've always got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, because we save it.
Yeah, we do, and it's always great fun on the show. And I know my wife wanted me to tell you guys as well. I didn't say at the start, but I actually stole these sunglasses from my 3-year-old. They're not mine. She wanted me to tell you, and he will get them back. But now there's
Maybe.
pictures on the internet, there's videos on the internet of me with his sunglasses on, and it'll always be there. So
Yeah.
I just wanted to end, I guess, by saying I love the AC community. I'll always be a part of it, even when I step away. And I wanted to also say that I love what you've brought to the show, James, and the ones again before. I love the energy you bring. I love that we can have these discussions back and forth. Even when we disagree on things, we never fall out. We're great friends. And I love that I've been able to meet people within the community that have like a passion for Assassin's Creed and show it in different ways. And yeah, it's great to have met someone like you who can take over the reins when I step away for childcare. So great to have you, James, and I really appreciate everything you do.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm loving being here. Podcast is going really well. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. Yeah, I'm glad that you're happy with what I've done and where we can take the podcast this year and next year. Who knows? I even had a thought. So I had an email. I had a chat with, I think his name was Rob Harris, via email about possible events to attend. Could you imagine
from Ubisoft?
Yeah, could you imagine doing a Rally of the Creed episode at a Ubisoft Assassin's Creed event? That would be pretty.
That's great.
That
I
would
love
be
this
awesome.
because we are Rally the Creed live, and to do it in person would be so great.
Yeah,
with members of the community, I'd love that. I'd love that,
that would be
especially if
brilliant.
we were at like an event with people we've had on the show before,
Yeah,
and be like, we're here in person, Rally the Creed live. It's great. It puts a new spin on the term live. Obviously, we're on TikTok live,
yeah,
and then we go on Spotify and YouTube post edit. But yeah, to bring that sort of in-person event perspective to it, that could be really fun. So it's great that you're building bridges with the new people at Ubisoft. It might be worth reaching out to the new community managers we mentioned to do as well.
will do.
Make them feel welcome in the community. We'd love to have a relationship with them, and to give you guys an idea as well as to where we're at with the show. We can frequently be found in Google searches now, which is great. You can find a ton of our episodes on YouTube. We have got a bit of a backlog that we need to release, so we're going to be working through them over the next few weeks. We do apologize for the delay. You can find clips from the show daily on YouTube. I'm working through them. TikTok as well. One way you can support the show is by rating us on Spotify. You can get involved with your comments on YouTube. We'll cover your take on things. You can get in touch with us on the contact page on the Once Again Before website, top right hand corner. Next week, episode 31, we're joined by community member Syncbreaker, who recently released a fan film for Assassin's Creed. So excited to get into that. And really great as well. They take modding to a new level. So I'm excited to get into all things relating to that project. And a massive thank you to everyone listening. Also, the TikTok gifts we've had throughout the night, they massively support us with the website costs. So, James, you're a regular on the show, of course, as one of the hosts, but where can people find you?
You can find me on TikTok, Twitter, YouTube. Twitter and TikTok, Top Chef 1288. YouTube is Top Chef -1288. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this year, and we've got plenty of videos. We're about to hit 30 subscribers on YouTube, which is crazy to even think about. I know it's only 30, but it's only been about 40 days, so that's
you're doing good. You're pushing in the right direction for sure. That's great. And as well, like we mentioned before, we'll leave some links to your previous videos and more recent ones, James, in the description below, especially the chef one that we mentioned in this episode. So great. You guys have to check that out. And I reckon Rally the Creed is off to a flying start in 2026. We've got so many plans for the year. We're working behind the scenes, and we will see you soon, Assassins. Thanks for watching.
Good night.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.